God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it!
And will this be enough? My God, Hogan takes him! 1, 2...
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ruckus Wrastlin. I'm Josh Mabry, alongside my tag team partner in this journey, Justin Toner. How are we doing today, sir?
Doing all right. So, been a week.
It's been a week. Fortunately, a couple of sad news. Put it in the headline. We did lose a legend in Sabu at the age of 60. His last match was a barbed wire death match against Joey Janela a couple weeks ago, I believe. Wasn't too long ago.
Yeah.
And everything was fine. And then next thing you know, we see the news that Sabu, unfortunately, has passed away. Now, rumors are flying all over the place. Joey Janela came out and said none of those are true. He was fine. Because they were saying, oh, he was shaken before the match because he was having withdrawals and all this other things. And Joey was like, no, they weren't. Although that's not what we're here for. We're here to pay homage to one of the hardcore legends of the wrestling world, one of the ECW GOATs. Obviously, with me, obviously that match, the ECW One Night Stand, was, I think, one of the first full matches I can remember. I know it's very later on, but when he was already established. But that ECW One Night Stand with him and Rey Mysterio, that was a banger.
I was rewatching highlights of that today.
Yeah, I mean, it's so good there. And then obviously his stuff in the ECW is definitely highlighted. Funny story, the first time that I remember actually seeing Sabu, he was on stage with ICP just stabbing Faygo bottles and spraying all over the crowd. That was the first time I witnessed Sabu. He was up there in full gear, had his gear on, shirtless, just stabbing Faygo bottles. 2 liters and spraying them in the crowd. And I was like, who's that guy? Someone goes, oh, it's this wrestler named Sabu. I'm like, oh, okay. And obviously he went on to be, I remember there was a Chris Jericho had it on his pod. He was kind of going over death matches, and he had Sabu, I forget the other wrestler. And then he had, it might've been Luther. I think it might've been Luther. And then he had Matt Cardona. And because he was like, and I have Matt Cardona here because he's the deathmatch king. And Matt was like, yeah. And they're like, how many matches have you had, Matt? He goes, 1. He said, that's the whole gimmick. But Sabu's he's not very outspoken. Obviously, him and RVD liked the weed, which isn't a bad or good thing depending on how you think. But he was always mellow. But when the bell rang, he was an animal. And it just sucks. But a person that puts that, when you basically your whole gimmick is not gimmick, but your whole lifestyle is wrestling these dangerous matches, you're putting your body through hell, back again, and then hell again, and then waking up the next day and doing it all over again. And it makes a toll. And that's unfortunate that it happened. It sucks. But Justin, I know you've kind of pulled up a little bit of his history. And then we can follow up with your thoughts after that.
Well, he was trained by his uncle, legendary wrestler, the Sheik, the original Sheik, not the Iron Sheik. Couldn't be different people. Also was trained at the same time as Rob Van Dam, which is why they were so intricately linked in their careers, because they were both trained by the Sheik at the same time. So they got into the business together. He worked mostly in independence to start, and then in Japan, that's where he started doing a lot of the hardcore stuff he became known for. Well, definitely ahead of his time. You can find it on YouTube. He did have a few tryout matches with WWE in 1993. They were all dark matches. One of them was against Scott Taylor, later known as Scotty Tuhati. That's the one that you can find on the WWE's YouTube, the Vault channel. But they didn't work out. And then eventually he ended up in the early version of ECW when it was Eastern Championship Wrestling before it became Extreme. And he that's where he really became most famous for, was his ECW time. It's like his legendary feuds with Taz, which, it's like Taz has been very emotional about it because those were a very important part of his career. His work with Sabu helped establish him as a wrestler. Then he feuded. Sometimes he feuded with Rob Van Dam and also teamed up with Rob Van Dam. It's like they were multi-time ECW Tag Team Champions. He did have a brief stint in WCW in 1995, but only lasted for like WWE in like a couple weeks, and then it's like it didn't work out. It's like you go back and watch some of those early Nitro episodes in 1995, you will see Sabu pop up a few times. And then it's like that was brief. He went back to ECW and was there until it shut down. After that, did a lot of independent work. He did work TNA for a bit in the early years of TNA. Then the WWE brought him in when they did the ECW revival. He was there for One Night Stands, talked about, and the crazy match with Rey Mysterio at the first One Night Stand, which was nuts. And then they brought him in and when they revived the ECW as a third brand. And he wrestled on there for a bit, but then got released in 2007. And then just kind of popped all around the indies, went back to TNA and stuff, but mostly worked on the independent circuit for the majority of his career. His match at Joey Janela, which was over WrestleMania weekend, was billed as his retirement match. It was a barbed wire match where the ropes, the ring were replaced with barbed wire. So there's been a lot of criticism that come out against Joey Janela and GCW, which was the independent wrestling promotion that had this match that weekend. Some people have gone too far, claiming that Janela was responsible for killing Sabu. It's like, yes, he was his opponent in the match, but he was not responsible for making Sabu want to do this match. And because there's been a lot of stories about, like, apparently he was not in the best of shape, and that they gave him some stuff.
Starts with a K. I can't remember.
To basically make it so that he'd be able to actually do the match. So it's like the promotions come under a lot of criticism, understandably. But it's it was his choice, and also it was their choice. So it's like it. But apparently, from what the reports are, is that it was a heart attack.
Okay.
So. Very innovative wrestler. I mean, like, it's like he did some crazy death-defying stuff. The stuff he did with the steel chair, like the Arabian face buster and other stuff, was revolutionary. It was a big influence for a lot of wrestlers, especially in the hardcore arena. So it's like I wasn't familiar with him until I watched like ECW when I could, because like I wasn't a regular ECW watcher because ECW aired such an early AM time slot where I grew up, that was not easy to see. So, it was always later through like online and other, and it's like renting like videotapes so that I'd see more of his work and stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, it's unfortunate. It's like both WWE and AEW paid nice tributes to him this past week. Well, it's like we'll mention that when we review the weekly shows this week, which was nice. And it's always sad when famous wrestler like this goes out, especially 60 is not that old, so it's like it's unfortunate. So rest in peace, sir, and thank you for the memories. It's like, if that is bad enough, then today, legendary wrestling announcer Jim Ross announced that he's been diagnosed with colon cancer. Yeah, he's going to undergo surgery in the next week or two for it. That really fucking sucks. Fuck
Mhm.
cancer. Fuck
Yeah.
cancer hardcore. And my thoughts and prayers are with JR and his family. And hope he can beat this. It depends. If colon cancer is caught early, you survive high, but like if it's caught late, then your survival is like not so good from what I've read about colon cancer in the past. So hopefully they caught this early, and that which gives him a good fighting chance to recover. So yeah, it really not. It's like it was. I was just like, oh man, it's like Sabu passed away, and now JR says he's got colon cancer. It's like
Yeah, hits keep coming. I forget Sabu's theme, so I have to go back and look at it, listen to it again. Again, Sabu, his career, it was tough for me to. Oh yeah, that's what good. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, Roman, when this you weren't the OG for that. That was Sabu, and that was him paying homage to the Sheik, right?
Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
I think that's what it was. It was paying homage to his uncle.
Yeah, I would just see highlights of him, just like he was like this, like figure that would come in and come out, but you would just see clips of him, especially when he was like springboard with the chair under him with the leg drop, right?
Yeah, the face poster, the Raven face poster,
right. And obviously, freaking springboard DDT through the table that with him and Rey Mysterio did.
That spot, it's like that spot was insane.
Yeah.
I was like, did they get injured on that? I don't remember.
Yeah, and that wasn't even the best match of the show. It was the Mike Awesome. It was a Mike Awesome match to me, even on that show, because that's the one that people still talk about. Is that Mike?
The ECW One Night Stand was quite.
Who was that? Who was Mike Austin's opponent? I forgot. It was
let me bring it. I'll bring it up.
But yeah, but that card. I mean, that was a great show. Now the end between
the first one. I know some people. It's like I think the second one from the first one was 2005, and then they did another one in 2006.
Right, because basically they did another one in 2006, and that's when because Rob Van Dam he got hurt for the first one, so he couldn't wrestle. And the second one when he won the title.
RVD being Cena, was that the first one or the second one? The second one.
The second one, because he couldn't wrestle in the first one. So that was the whole thing, because that was by the time RVD really got established, was like one of the top guys in WWE.
Okay, so that was the second one, because Ray wrestled Psychosis in the first One Night Stand. So
okay.
Sabu was the second one in 2006.
Okay, all right. So, but yeah, the 2005.
Sabu wrestled Rhino in the first one.
Okay. Who was Mike Austin's opponent in the first one?
It was his old rival Masato Tanaka, who he had the legendary banger matches in ECW with.
Well, he had another one because that match was awesome. Love that. If memory serves me right, but yeah, Sabu and I therefore guys look up. Obviously, just type in Mick Foley's Sabu story. Mick Foley is obviously one of the greatest storytellers, and he tells a really funny story of just how like they would go through it, and Sabu would be like, "I'm good." Like he, like I said, he wasn't a man of many words.
I think the second one was better than the first because the second one had I think had better matches. Like you had Randy versus Kurt Angle.
Didn't you have Batista versus like Big Show?
Yeah,
something like that. In that second one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was the thing is like I think the show it's like the matches itself in the second ECW One Night Stand was better, but that was much more just WWE talent.
You also had Edge and Mick Foley against Tommy Dreamer and Terry Funk. I mean,
right?
Like that match was. I remember that match being awesome.
Yeah,
and then you had the legendary Cena RVD title match where Edge RVD beat him for the title.
Yeah, Edge speared him, and the whole crowd was saying, "Thank you, Edge."
Yeah,
when Edge was the heel.
Yeah. It's like John Cena was the face at the time, but of course, people were in anti-Cena mode, and like they were really happy that RVD beat him for the title that night.
Yeah, and if I recall correctly, that was when Orton was still on the head case. He was still going through some head case stuff back then. And I think if you watch when he was walking to the ring, because obviously the ballroom was so tight knit and the crowd is basically hovering over you. And I think some fan just like pushed him the wrong way. And he almost didn't even make it to the ring because he was just going to go after that fan. Orton did. And then that was when Cena just came out and did this the whole way to the ring.
Yeah.
With the belt up. So yeah, I mean, the only thing with that show, was
I'll have
much.
to rewatch that because
I have to rewatch both.
Pretty sure that the 2006 one was better than the first one.
But Paul Heyman's promo, the only reason you're champion is because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays.
Yeah,
you know, that whole thing.
Yeah,
Matt freaking Hardy and like all that.
Yeah,
Edge and all that stuff. But yeah, Sabu, it just stinks. Taz obviously had a really emotional little tribute to him on AEW. Then he also posted a personal video online as well. It's about 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
And shout out to also obviously WWE as well. Highlighting him. I was surprised Heyman didn't say anything on the Raw show, but he wasn't out there for very long. And he really didn't. He didn't really talk much. If you noticed that, I think he was still dealing with it.
Yeah, it's like he didn't do. It's like he didn't have a lot of speaking stuff on Raw. I think maybe it's like the Sabu passing probably had a role in that probably.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, because I remember his tribute to New Jack, and I was just like, I was wondering if Heyman was even going to be on Raw, like honestly, just because the news broke like that, like Saturday.
Well, but he was a professional; show must go on. So.
Oh yeah.
So he's of that mentality.
Yeah. But man, it just sucks, man. But,
yeah, it does.
Yeah. Hopefully, more people will get eyeballs on Sabu and realize the influence that he had. I don't think Sabu realized.
Yeah, if you got for people who have Peacock, go. All the old ECW stuff is on there. The One Night Stand stuff's on there. So it's like, it's if you have a Peacock subscription and you've never seen his work before, go check it out.
And Giff, thanks for joining us. If in the comments, tell us what your favorite Sabu match was or memory. On that. And then TKO's president, Mark Shapiro, spoke around May 13th, May 12th at a JP Morgan conference, kind of talking about the direction of the company. Really didn't highlight much about ticket prices going down because they're making profit. So, You know what makes you have cheaper tickets? People stop buying them. That is the plan. That is immediately what happens is the only way you can make prices go down is if people stop buying them. And as long as ticket sales are still up, even Randy Orton saying you spent $30,000, what the hell? That's embarrassing, I mean, but if the fans keep buying them, they're gonna keep selling them at that price, and scalpers and all that other stuff. So it sucks. I wish ticket prices were more affordable for everyone, and you weren't paying $700 for nosebleeds. But if you're paying for them, they're going to keep selling them that way. That's unfortunate the way the business world works on that. So, and then they also hinted at cutting down on house shows. Now, they've talked about this before about cutting down on house shows. And Justin, I'll kind of give the floor to you as you've commented before. I think we're in a day and age we don't need them as much as we used to.
No, we were talking about it before the show started. It's like the house shows were important because that was important revenue back in the time. But now with the amount of money they make off the TV contracts and other stuff, especially like the Saudi Arabia deal gave them a lot of money. It's like there's not a need for the house shows anymore. And plus, it's like the prices that they charge for just the TV shows, that's like they're making plenty of money there as is. So it makes sense that they feel like they don't need to do as many of those house show live events as they used to. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we already get enough wrestling as it is these days. It's like how much it's on TV during the week from all the different promotions. Plus it's easier on the wrestlers. It's like less travel, and stuff, less wear and tear on the body. So, I mean, it's like they were down to wrestle. It's like I remember I was watching it's this new show on Max. It's like Dark Side of Hollywood. It's like Hollywood Demons. They did an episode on the Von Erichsen Kevin and a bunch of the family members, like the kids of the grandkids, were interviewed, and like Kevin was talking about how like he would wrestle like 5-6 times a week and only have like one day off.
Right.
That's
Undertaker. I mean, all like that old guard of the Undertaker era. They they'd be what 285 of 365
so
days.
they weren't. It's like that. It had an effect on ones wrestlers who were married and tried to have children and family. It's like not a lot. It's like not all that stuff went well back then when they were working that much a week, that many days a week and traveling almost all the time and barely being home. So it's better for the wrestlers, to be able to spend time with their loved ones and their family. It's like if they got a partner, they got kids, it's like it's better for them, and I'm all for that.
Yep. And then they're also looking at targeting certain cities that actually draw instead of going to these other cities that don't, which, again, it's a business thing. And I mean, why would I like, if looking from a business perspective, why would you go to a place doesn't sell?
Right.
Like I spend all the money and resources to go to a place.
You also want to go to places that you don't normally go, you haven't gone to in a long time, because then people are going to come out.
Yes. You miss what the heart wants what it misses, or whatever that saying is.
That's why they did like record numbers when they go overseas, because it's like, they don't do that as often, so like it's a big deal.
Yeah. And that's why those
overseas. And
that's why those crowds, and it is crazy how much, now they're going overseas, how much the crowd has influenced certain things like chants, the Roman.
I've noticed it too. The American fans are starting to follow suit for like the European fans in the chanting department, and supporting the
the Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, like that whole thing. And then apparently Randy Orton was he came out and commented, I think like maybe a week ago or something. I don't know if you saw the comments, but he was like, we were working on a new theme song for me, and then we went to France and they started to sing it, and we were like, all right,
nope,
I'm good. And because everyone else started kicking in on it, and Randy was
it's like you had the massive sing along at Backlash, it's like for when he came out, so it's like and that's his hometown, so
and the France show with AJ Styles, I mean, the camera was shaking for as crazy as that crowd was, and obviously Puerto Rico and Bad Bunny and all that. That just crowd is like 40% of the show sometimes.
Yeah.
And they can make a okay show great, and they can also make a good show bad.
Yeah.
As far as that, so I understand that they obviously, just because they don't come to your town every year, like obviously like Chicago gonna hit there, New York, Madison Square Garden, like they're gonna play the hits because they know they're gonna draw. They're always gonna go to Louisville. Typically they always come to Nashville. But they always going to go to Louisville because, that's kind of where that's where OVW was. CM Punk, he even said, he was like, when he was like, it's a great place, Louisville, where I lived and stuff, because that was,
like WWE used to come to Rochester every now and then, but it's like they rarely do now. Like AEW came to Rochester a few times in the early years, but I think it's been almost like 2 years since they were last here.
Yeah.
So it sucks, because I got to witness some cool stuff, because they came here for Dynamite here twice, and I got to attend both of them, and both times is when TNT Championship changed hands. It's like I saw the Sammy Guevara winning it for the first time when he beat Miro, and then Wardlow's TNT title win.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you go back and it's like the one episode, me and my friend James, you can see we are on we end up on camera for like a few seconds.
Nice.
During that episode where Wardlow won the TNT title. That's like I've got I got the clip saved online.
Nice.
So like when that episode ends up on Max in the library, it's like he's like, you can go check it out. You'll see me pop up briefly.
I always sometimes I'm with you on that, because I always sometimes go back and watch.
I didn't realize it until my friends text me like we just saw you on the TV. We're like, what? We didn't realize that we got caught on camera until like a friend of mine, friend's message.
My claim to fame was I was in 7th grade. We got second row for a Smackdown. My brother signed because he's a solid artist. So his he drew this like dead man with flames and stuff. And that sign, my brother sitting there holding the sign, got on camera. And then it was the Brothers of Destruction and the Power Trip, and it was Triple H and Undertaker main event match. And when they went up against the rail towards the announce table, like some fans cleared, you could see my little scrawny skinny butt going, yeah. So that was my claim to fame as far as getting on camera as well for that. Another comment that he said, which is not a surprise, is they're saying very high quality but low volume pay-per-view events, which means the card staying around that 5-match card.
5 to 6 of it.
Okay, so pro and con this one. Pro, you let the matches breathe and have time to do their thing. So you give the wrestlers time to show their shit.
Mm-hmm.
Con, you might spend more time building up those 5 matches on the shows, like Raw and SmackDown and whatnot, and leave off certain storylines.
Yeah.
So that would be the con there. But I will say with them, looks like they're starting to add more with Saturday night's main events. Evolution is looking like that's more and more going to be green lit. So it looks like they're adding more middle ground, like PLE type thing. So at that point,
you have been going around for a while, and we're just waiting for like the official announcement because it sounds like it's going to happen in July.
Do you think they're, with that being said, if they're adding more PLEs and stuff, because obviously Jay and Logan were supposed to be on Backlash and they moved them to Saturday night's main event, right? So do you think that it allows for other storylines to breathe so they can get them on that? So it's like you don't know where the match is going to end up as far as like a blow off or whatnot. That's my thinking part of it. Maybe they just are going to say, screw you guys, thanks for catering. We're gonna just focus in on these 12 wrestlers each show. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll just have to see how things play out. It's like because it's like we already got like 2. We only got like 2 matches confirmed for that Saturday night's main event on the 24th.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing.
My eyes. Sorry.
You good, bro?
I'm all right.
All right.
I think so. I don't think I'll have to run to the bathroom.
Okay. I can vamp. And then the last thing, he was talking about the WWE Unreal, which has come under a little bit of scrutiny because obviously kayfabe's pretty much dead, but this is the nail in the Undertaker's coffin to me, as far as, because I mean they literally are having people in the writers' room, and we talked about it before the show. To me, I sometimes don't need the magician to tell me how he does the trick. We can. It's fun to predict and see where it goes, and then I like to go back and see how they did it, because as we gotten older, we know that it's scripted and anything can happen.
All right, I'll be right back.
You're good. You're good. So I would say that with WWE Unreal, I'm in between, because I always love behind the scenes stuff. Doesn't matter. Like I'm a big DVD commentary person. Like if I like something, I want to know as much as I possibly can. But when it comes to wrestling, I'm a little indifferent, because I just still like the magic that it is. And I just don't need to see the rabbit pulled out of its hat. I mean, I don't need to see the rabbit go in. I just want to see it get pulled out, but not knowing that it's there. I mean, I think it's there, but I don't need you to show me that it's there until you pull it out and, ta-da and all that. Sometimes I don't need to know how the bread's made. I don't need all that. But that being said, it's content. You're trying to reach these other audiences, and the thing is, you have, as soon as the show's over, they have these press conferences where they basically just are like, yeah, so this is why we made this decision to go with this route. That's why we're doing that. And then the wrestlers immediately after a show go on 17 different podcasts and break down how they ended up coming with those decisions. So for them to give this scrutiny, it's like you literally have a gajillion podcasts that the wrestlers go on right after a show. They go on Chris Van Fleet and talk about how they ended up where they were at. So
I mean, Danhausen of all people was interviewed by Van Fleet out of character without his
Right.
makeup, which I was shocked. I'd never seen him out of character before. It's like
the only person that's keeping kayfabe alive is the only person keeping kayfabe alive is MJF, pretty much. Because like if he's ever seen him in public or anything like that, any video of him it's him doing the MJF character. Now obviously people outside of once the cameras are off, people are saying MJF is obviously they talk glowingly about him, and but he's the only one that really keeps the kayfabe alive. I mean, once you knew kayfabe was dead was when Undertaker started doing podcasts pulling back the curtain, because if there's one person that always would keep kayfabe alive and wanted to keep it that way was the Undertaker. Like, he made sure that he was in character 24/7. And then obviously we saw in that SummerSlam, the WrestleMania in Las Vegas, where Undertaker was like death staring the camera, being like, "What the hell are you doing? Like, no, do not film me. This is not something you should be filming."
You're talking about WrestleMania. You're talking about WrestleMania 9.
Yes, WrestleMania 9, and he was just doing death stares to the camera. So I'm indifferent. I'm gonna watch it because I'm just a sucker for behind the scenes.
Out because it's like kayfabe was killed for me like in the 90s. So it's like
yeah. I mean, even our resident historian, old school commenter, Jim Cornette, he would get on the Young Bucks for doing all these, breaking kayfabe and stuff, and then the Young Bucks are like, "So we're getting scrutiny for somebody that's telling us we're breaking kayfabe while they're on a podcast talking about breaking kayfabe." So I'm like, yeah, they got a point. So I understand the backlash.
Yeah,
and some part of me doesn't like it, but at this point, why not? Like, if you're gonna go, like, this isn't the day after the curtain call.
It's gonna draw people in. That's
if it does, guess what, guys? If it doesn't get ratings, it's gonna go off the air anyway.
Right.
They're not gonna
It's gonna go away.
Yeah, and it's on Netflix. It's part of the Netflix deal.
Yep.
And it's starting in. Do they know the month or just says summer? On Netflix, it says summer.
They haven't given an exact date. Sometime this summer.
Well, hopefully we'll get it before GTA 6.
Yeah, everything seems to be happening before GTA 6.
Hell, I was expecting this show to drop.
That's me joking right now. It's like,
well, honestly, I'm surprised we got behind the curtain at that point, because that was ridiculous how long that took, and that still sucked. That whole Rock.
Oh yeah, for WrestleMania 40.
Yeah, it was like hyped it up, and then they kept prolonging it. I'm like, we know why. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have on that. Wow, we're at 30 minutes, so let's jump into SmackDown. And do you want to go right into Backlash, or do
let's do SmackDown first?
Okay, we will do SmackDown first. All right, so on SmackDown, the show opened with a joint promo from Damian Priest and LA Knight. They both want the U.S. title, but are willing to work together tonight. Damian Priest and LA Knight defeated Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa, with Knight hitting the BFT on Solo. Afterwards, Fatu takes out Knight, and then Drew McIntyre appears out of nowhere and hits Priest with the Claymore. After the break, Drew cuts a promo backstage on all his opponents in the U.S. title match and vowing to win the title at Backlash. Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis held a funeral for her title reign. In the back, when Nick Aldis and Zelina Vega came in, the three of them imply that Vega had no friends, so Aldis made a tag match for later tonight. A promo video from Aleister Black aired. He talked about his return and going after The Miz, and also had words for Carmelo Hayes. Zelina Vega and Alexa Bliss. There, she's back.
She's back.
Yeah, she's back. Is she back? I don't know. Anyway, Zelina Vega and Alexa Bliss defeated Chelsea Green and Piper Niven with Alba Fire, with Alexa making her post-Mania return. In the back, Rey Fenix and Santos Escobar have words, but then Legado del Fantasma run in to jump Phoenix until Agents and Andrade make the save. That sets up a tag match for later. Charlotte Flair comes out for a promo, claims her and Tiffany had the greatest women's match ever at Mania, and she took her took her to the limit. She says her path back to the title starts now, but the fans keep booing her loudly. She doesn't understand their disrespect and says if they keep it up, she will leave and never come back to this town. The boos continue, and she leaves just as Jade Cargill comes out for her match. She tells Flair to get to the back of the line where she belongs. Nia Jax defeated Jade Cargill to become the number 1 contender for the WWE Championship. Champion Tiffany Stratton was at ringside watching, but was attacked by Naomi. This distracted Jade enough for Nia to take advantage and hit her with the Annihilator for the win. Meechin and B-Fab praised the Street Profits for winning the TLC match. They then head out to the ring and cut a promo. They brag about winning TLC and showing that they are the best tag team, but then Fraxium comes out to interrupt them, wanting a shot at the titles. Profits are surprised since they have only been there for a few weeks, but Aldis comes out and decides to have them face off in a non-title match right now. And so Fraxium defeated the Street Profits in a non-title match. The Profits and Fraxium shake hands afterwards to show respect. Aleister Black defeated Carmelo Hayes with The Miz when Miz tried to distract Black, but it backfires and he rolls Melo up from behind for the pin. Black then hits Miz with the Black Mass when he comes in for the attack afterwards. The Motor City Machine Guns come up to Fraxium, give them props for the win tonight, and look forward to facing them. DIY then runs in for the sneak attack and lays both teams out. Andrade and Rey Fenix defeat Los Garza, and with Andrade hitting Berto with the message, Santos yells at Los Garzas after the match, with Berto standing up to him and leaving on his own. The main event, John Cena comes out to cut a promo. A fan threw a beer can at Cena, but he improvised off of it and continued. He ran down Randy Orton using hustle, loyalty, and respect to show Orton has none of those qualities, but he does. A masked person we're meant to think is Randy Orton, runs for RKO. Cena takes them out with the AA, but it was a decoy as the real Randy Orton sneaks in and hits Cena with the RKO to close out the show. Apparently that was Shawn Spears.
Yeah,
the rumor is.
Yeah, some people first thought it was Miles Bourne, but people took a good look at the tattoos on his arm and were like, "No, that's Shawn Spears."
Yeah. Someone pointed that out. I was like, "Nope, that's Shawn Spears." I'm like, "Oh, okay, interesting." Okay, what is one of my golden rules?
Yeah, well, there was one other segment I forgot to add in. There was a quick thing where Charlotte was Aldis was trying to get Charlotte not to leave. But she was like, "I'm out of here." And then Alexa confronted her in the back and said, "We need to talk." So,
that's right. Thank you for reminding me of that. So
there's something going on. They're setting up some kind of angle between those two. So we'll see where that goes.
White 7. All right. My golden rule, my golden rule. Do not pin your champions, especially these stupid non-title matches.
It sucks because the tag match was
so good. It was so good, but it just did nothing and only hurt the Profits.
Yeah,
like obviously
you want to get Fraxium over. It's like let them beat other teams.
Yeah,
don't beat them. It's like
you're feeding. I don't. It's Fraxium though, so like that match was so good. Like the whole time I'm like, it's like this match is so great. But no, when you're setting up future matches by having your champions lose in non-title matches. And it annoys the fuck out of me. One of those dumbest bookings we always said was, in order to get this shot, you got to beat us. What? No. They're at the mountaintop. You don't go to the mountain, beat them, and then hang out at base camp to fight them again.
Eliminator matches that are like, if you beat them, then they'll get a future title shot.
Yeah. I'd never care for those type of things. It just doesn't make sense. Make the math. Okay, make it make sense to me. Obviously, Jade Cargill got her first loss. I'm not mad about it. Some people were bitching about it online. I didn't care.
No, props to Jade for. And actually, that match was actually dope. To be honest,
I enjoyed it. I was sports entertained.
It was one of the best matches Jade has had since she's been in WWE.
Agreed.
Her and Nia had really good chemistry.
Yeah,
and I thought all shenanigans were appropriate. And, Naomi's lurking around the title picture, fucking with Jade still, so it's all good. I prefer Naomi versus Tiffany, but we're getting I don't know if that title match is happening on Raw. I mean, on SmackDown or Saturday Night's Main Event. We'll see. I guess we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, Naomi's doing the best work of her career.
She's killing it with this heel work.
Yeah,
bar none.
Andrade Rey Fenix. Come on, you knew that those little scars that Andrade Rey Fenix was going to be great.
Yeah, that was a good match. The opening tag match was also good. Good setup for the 4-way. Drew's promo afterwards was awesome. I love how his imitation of Jacob Fatu is great. I also love his line. It was like, the problem with all gas, no brakes is eventually going to hit a wall.
Right. And he did like that. He went cross-eyed and stuff. And he was, and like, obviously LA Knight, like during the match, doing the flailing stuff. It just, I was enjoying it.
I love Drew Becky.
Aleister Black. I told you Aleister Black was going to cut that promo. It's like the same thing that the Redeemer does.
Need more of that. That.
I mean, I don't mind it.
I'm all for Aleister versus Bello because that can produce a banger match.
Yeah.
Lots of banger matches.
Can Chelsea Green not get pinned, please?
Poor Chelsea.
I know I am not worried about Chelsea.
No,
it's just my bias of I didn't want her to eat the pin, but it made the most sense. Like, you need to keep Selena hot. Alexa just came back. You can't keep pinning Piper and Alba, and it doesn't hurt Chelsea. It doesn't. So I didn't have a problem with it.
She's a very high on my list of likely women's Money in the Bank winners. She almost won it last year, but it's like Tiffany took her out to get the briefcase last year. So she's definitely high on my list of besides a certain other future great wrestler known as the Prodigy. Anyway.
We'll get to my thoughts on Raw. Okay, we'll get to my thoughts.
We're gonna be on the same wavelength for that one.
Yeah. So right now my favorites. I'm with as far as Money in the Bank. We're gonna do this weekly of check in who our favorites is based off of how they're being booked. Right now, to me, Chelsea is the favorite to be Money in the Bank. And then for the men, I'm putting my money on Braun Breaker as it stands right now.
That's not a bad choice. The two women that I think are most likely to win Money in the Bank, which despite like their losses lately, I think both Chelsea and Roxanne are my top two picks.
I would not.
I'd be hard to choose. It's like I'd be happy with either one of them winning.
Yeah, those two are like my two that I would want to win, obviously. Yeah. But the one I would not sleep on is Jade.
That's also possible.
On that, so I've got that there. Interested to see what Alexa and Charlotte do. I am actually intrigued on that.
Yeah. Wonder where that's heading.
Because Alexa can make anything good. It's Alexa,
She's really over it. It's like despite being off TV for a while, before and after Mania, it's like she's still really over. So it's like,
and this tag team division, man. This tag team division,
which makes the tag division on Raw so
bad.
It's got like such a sore thumb right now because the SmackDown is like loaded. Like most of the best tag teams that WWE has right now are on SmackDown. The Profits, Fraxium, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, and you also got the Garzas and Pretty Deadly. It's an embarrassment of riches over on SmackDown. And so the tag division over there is going to be cooking there for a while.
So, which is why I think they might end up drafting Rey Fenix to Raw and just do the Lucha Bros at this point.
They might if the draft is going to happen. It's like we haven't heard anything yet on that. It's suspected that it's not far around the corner, so we'll see. It's just like the Evolution 2. It's like there's a lot of scuttlebutt about it, but we don't know when and if it's going to happen. There's nothing official yet, so we'll see. Yeah. But
they're pretty much at that tweener stage where they don't need.
They are kind of like in a tweener mode, Geff. So it's like because like Dawkins left my girl Mia Yim hanging. It's like don't do that to me, Chin. Don't leave her hanging.
You big Jimmed. When Jim, you know how Jimmy was always doing this, and then it was hilarious.
She wrote. She wrote out. She like people said out. I saw people tweet at her on social media like, "How could Dawkins leave you hanging?" She's like, "It's okay. It's okay."
Yeah. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Part of me doesn't think it was. On that. Okay. Anything else? I mean, John Cena cuts a promo. It's John Cena promo.
It was fine. Yeah.
That's the thing is like John Cena's like okay promos are still like it's like those artists that like come out with okay albums, but just because you expect something.
Going back to Charlotte real quick, I like that she's that they're having her lean into the fans like not liking her right now. That's the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
because they're gonna have to do something completely radical if they ever want to make her a babyface again, because like, the fans just do not give a fuck.
Yeah, because I mean they're getting that, she's getting that Dom heat. I mean, honestly, like she's doing the same promo that the New Day did when they turned on Big E, and they were just like, what do we do wrong? Like, we're, I'm in, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So they might do that. But yeah, no, I'm interested.
I can't wait, because like it's like DIY just keeps pissing everybody off in the division. It's like they beat up Fraxium and the Machine Gun. So it's like DIY versus Fraxium.
If you would have told me, like, I remember watching Axiom like the first time, I'm like, well, this guy's gonna be fun till he gets released at some point, just because I'm just so used to that type of look and that type of style and the okay promo skills to never work on a main roster.
Yeah.
Now, Frazier would definitely work in certain aspects, but Fraxium together, you went to a different level, man.
Yeah, they're special.
Different level.
Yeah,
they are special. On that. So any other things?
It's like because I was like, oh, these two guys are both, because I was both very high on Nathan Frazier and for Axiom separate. And TW was like, well, this is gonna be interesting. And then it's like, as the more that they worked, I'm just like, these guys are so fucking good together. It's like, and that sometimes it happens, it's like sometimes you put two guys together and you discover that they have incredible tag team chemistry, and then magic happens.
Yep.
So let's go to Backlash. Oh,
yes. So beginning in Backlash, Jacob Fatu defeated LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre in a fatal 4-way match to retain the WWE United States Championship. Priest chokeslammed Drew through a production table in the crowd, taking them out, and he literally took Drew out. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Solo saved Jacob from LA Knight, hitting him with an elbow drop through the announce desk. Knight went for Solo, but was attacked by debuting Jeff Cobb coming in from the crowd, making his WWE debut. Solo had Cobb destroy Knight and put him back in the ring. Jacob was confused and not happy about this, but hit LA with the moonsault to pin him and win. Great character work there at the end by Jacob and all parties.
Yes.
Lyra Valkyria defeated the man Becky Lynch. Thank you for watching the show and listening to me. To retain the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship with a roll-up. Becky was pissed. She lost and attacked Lyra afterwards, putting her in the disarmor before officials got her to stop. Man, that match cooked. Dominic Mysterio defeated Penta to retain the WWE Intercontinental Championship. When the ref was distracted by Judgment Day, El Grande El Marcano appeared and used his loaded mask to hit Penta with the headbutt, knocking him off the top rope. Dom then hit the frog splash to win the match. Gunther defeated Pat McAfee by making him pass out in the sleeper. Cole interfered at one point to try and help Pat win, but it didn't work. Afterwards, Gunther gives a nod of respect to McAfee before leaving. In the main event, John Cena defeated Randy Orton to retain the WWE Championship.
Surprise.
The original referee and the replacement ref were both taken out with bumps, leading to a lot of shenanigans. All innocent officials came out to check on the refs, and Randy got pissed and just RKO'd everyone. He went to punt Cena, but R-Truth ran out to stop Orton. He got Truth out of the way, but Cena took advantage, hitting a low blow, followed by hitting him with the WWE title belt, and then pinned him as the original referee finally recovered to count the pin. After the match, Cena says he wants competition and isn't finding it here to end the show. Post-show, he goes to leave and gets cheers with the "Thank you, Cena" chant, which makes him pause for a second before heading out. At the post-show press conference, R-Truth interrupted John Cena to talking to the media. He says he believes in him and congratulates him on winning, despite people saying he sucks and can't wrestle. Cena gets upset, tells him that was over the line and not to say another word or there will be repercussions. Truth starts to speak again, so Cena grabs him, puts him through the table with the AA, and then leaves. That's although Truth broke Cena.
He did. When he came in and started, Cena corpsed, as they say. It's like for a bit, but then he went back into heel serious mode when he brought up the fans saying that like he sucks and can't wrestle, and that led to the awesomeness. So okay, this show started out really good and then kind of went down a bit, and then I want to say that, not saying it's a bad show, the show was like fine, but it wasn't great. And honestly, Orton and Cena had a better main event match than Cena had with Cody at WrestleMania by far. I thought I was actually enjoying the match until all the fucking ref bumps happened, and like that just like oh my god.
Yeah. I remember you posted it was like 2 ref bumps, and I was like 3 ref bumps. There's 3, right? And then they RKO'd everyone.
I must have been behind you.
Maybe either it was a 1, 2, or I forget. There was more than
There's
one.
3. The
three.
original ref got bumped twice. And then the replacement ref also got bumped and knocked out.
I thought there was 3.
And that is when all this and all the road agents came out to get RKO'd. Props to Shane Helms and Bobby Roode. I thought their RKOs were pretty epic.
Yeah. Dude, ever since he did the first RKO to Aldis, we were like,
it feels like it's going to happen at this point, especially after this one. It's like, we'll see what happens on SmackDown tomorrow, but because like the first 2 matches were great. It was hard for me to pick like what I thought was the best match in the show. I'm going to give it to Becky and Lyra. I think as much as I really enjoyed the opening match, which was as good as I thought it was going to be with those 4 guys involved. I figured it was going to be really good. It was.
Yep.
But I'm going to give the edge to Lyra and Becky because most people were sleeping on that match, and they went out and delivered a fantastic match that the crowd was heavily invested into, and they were rooting for Lyra and they were booing Becky. It's like they made it work, and it's like they made the right call with Lyra winning. And then Becky continuing the heel work with the attack afterwards. I just thought that was a good move.
Mm-hmm.
Dom and Penta wasn't that long. I mean, it was fine, but it was short. Gunther McAfee is exactly what I expected. It was a fine match. It was good. Props to McAfee because holy shit, if you look at the photos he posted on social media, Gunther turned his chest into hamburger red.
Yeah.
So
he pointed out he's popped a blood vessel in his eye.
Yeah.
He tried to show his bruising, but it kind of healed up a little bit. But
Gunther chopped the fuck out of him.
Yeah. That match when people were like, "Oh, why do you want a commentator versus Gunther?" I was like, guys, McAfee is athletic and he can go for what McAfee
and he knows
needs
how
to
to
go
tell
for.
a story in the ring.
Yes.
He did all the right stuff for the baby's comebacks, and the fans were invested in that match. You could tell. It's like that match had heat.
And shout out to Michael Cole of being like, "All right, guys, I'm gonna be biased this match."
As soon as he grabbed the leg, I was like, Bobby. It's like this Bobby Heenan move.
Yeah. And then he kicked out, and and then like him sitting there and be like, "Pat, stop. It's okay. It's fine. Just give up, Pat." Because he just
it's like lay down, Pat. Just lay down.
Yeah, that's this like I said
was
in the
begging
Discord.
Gunther to just put it into it because he knew that Gunther was basically torturing McAfee.
And I like Wade Barrett too because he was basically like, I'm not going to interrupt this. Because he was like, I have no dog in the fight, and also someone needs to be on commentary. It's basically his way of doing that.
But back to the main event, like I felt like my own criticism is I felt that 3 ref bumps was like way over the top.
Way over the top.
They did not need to do that many ref bumps. You just needed to do the one, and you could have had the officials come out, or it's like or whatever, because it could obviously him RKOing all this other way that's going to lead to repercussions. But I felt it would have been more neater if he had just a 1 ref bump. He goes for the punt, and then the R-Truth stuff happens. I was fine with that ending because it made sense because they've been teasing this. It's like that Truth still believes in Cena because of how Truth's mind works.
It's his childhood hero.
He's like so he was trying to protect his childhood hero from getting his head punted off, and so that made sense. Now, when I was watching it. And I had this thought before. A lot of others said this online. When when I was watching the after show, and the way he was hesitating and like there's emotion on his face when the fans were chanting "Thank you, Cena." I was like, there's the seeds for the redemption arc right there.
Yeah. Also, did you see where R-Truth was online where R-Truth pitched a little Jimmy action figure, but it was just an empty box?
Oh God.
They shot it down, but I thought that's so R-Truth. He was like, "Hey, how about I do a little Jimmy character, but it's just an empty box?" And they were like, "No, we're not doing that."
Despite my issues with the main event, I thought the main event still was a good match.
Yeah, it was super overbooked.
Was just overbooked again, way too much. It's like, and I'm getting tired of that scene.
My theory behind it is because they wanted to add time to the match. Cena just can't go like
he's washed, man. It's
yeah,
like he can't go like he used to.
And it's okay.
And it feels like I get the smoke and mirrors, and I don't mind a little bit of the smoke and mirrors for Cena at this point. But it's like sometimes you're going it's like they're going way too overboard.
Right. So like he can't go like he used to.
The stuff with R-Truth, this is what I've been waiting for. I said this a while ago. I was like, if you really want people to get pissed off at Cena, he needs to hurt R-Truth, and that's exactly what finally happened in the post-show press conference.
Yep. Yeah.
It's like, and if that leads to a match, that match is going to be have heat off the charts. It's like some people. It's like if I think it would be a great because they've already advertised that Cena's going to be on the May 24th Saturday Night's main event. Why not have him wrestle R-Truth?
Right. I know, I'm with you, and I think that's what they're like leading towards is an R-Truth versus Cena match.
And R-Truth could be one of the pieces of him pulling him back to being a babyface again.
Right,
because of his undying belief in the goodness of John Cena.
R-Truth is going to be one of those careers where you study it and you still don't believe it after you know it's true.
Yeah,
just
a guy who found it, found what he was really good at, and it's like he's not, and he's perfectly content with it. It's like he's like. He's not upset. I've never seen him complaining about, he's not remaining at WrestleMania or, like he's been a world champion. He enjoys wrestling. He enjoys what he does. And it's like he provides entertainment that of such a unique variety that he's such a unique talent. His gift for comedy is so good. I mean, like we see it like he's so good at what he does that he's like, it's like some wrestlers have a hard time staying in character when he's doing his shenanigans.
Yeah. I mean, just look up. I mean, there's so many compilations, just R-Truth breaks wrestlers.
He's broken Brock. He's broken Roman.
Triple H.
It's like Triple H. It's like he briefly broke Cena at the press conference before things got serious. So it's like
the one where he broke
Priest like multiple times during the whole Judgment Day.
Yeah, he broke Triple H when he did the you're not fooling me, Tommaso Ciampa. And Triple H's like, shit, he got me.
Triple H was just like it's like was trying not to smile.
And then him, I forget when he broke Roman really bad was when he was like talking about he was like, you're not in the match. He goes, I'm not in the match. It's like, no, what are you doing out here? He goes, that's my bad. I'm sorry. And like Roman just lost it. They like put the camera back, and Roman's just like almost in tears, laughing so bad.
When you break someone like Brock, it's like
that literally was a bet that they had backstage, being like, I think between Heyman and Vince, were just like, I bet you send R-Truth out there, he can break Brock. And he didn't tell Brock what he was going to say or anything. And he was just like, I'm going to throw you over the top rope, Paul Heyman. And he was like, what? Me? I'm not in the match. Oh, you're not? Brock's in the match. Oh, Brock's in the match? Well, then I will get out of the Royal Rumble. Anyway, back to this. Jeff Cobb. For those who don't know, Jeff Cobb, he's awesome.
Yeah, I have now this is someone I'm a lot more familiar with from New Japan because I've seen some of his work outside of New Japan, in both especially in AEW. Guy's awesome. That was a great debut. It was a cool surprise. I was like, oh, it's Jeff Cobb. Ooh.
The first member of the bloodline that's not part of the bloodline that's not named Sami Zayn.
Well, it's like they already stretched it thin because it's like, with the Tongans and
the Tongans, you can get there. with the Tongans.
Yeah.
But with Jeff Cobb, it's just like, well,
that was a great way to debut him. It's like he comes in, he destroys LA Knight, and so that's going to add fuel. Yeah, exactly. We all want to see that. It's like him versus Jacob, him versus Braun Breaker, him versus Bronson Reed. It's like, oh my god,
he's 42 years old.
He looks in great shape.
He looks great. Him and Tama Tonga, which I come back, please.
Well, they're both. Well, him and Tonga Loa are still out injured. They're both injured.
Oh, okay. So I was like, I thought I read where he was. I know Tonga Loa.
Tama got injured just before Mania.
Oh, okay.
So both the Gorillas are out right now.
Okay.
Injury.
All right.
Which I think is one of the reasons why they had Jeff Cobb get recruited by Solo to join their faction. They need to kind of like a name because it's not the Bloodline. They're not really the Bloodline anymore. No. But I really loved how Jacob sold that. Was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, he's
like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Like, and then it's like those little subtle bits of him going full babyface because he's like fuck it. It's like he didn't want that help. But then he's like, damn it. It's like, shit. I'm going to finish it. And then then he went in and finished off LA Knight. But you can tell he was not happy.
Guys, that spot with Drew on the turnbuckle and then props up to make Jacob do the swanton. And then Jacob jumps up real quick and then does a suicide dive out to Priest and then goes back in. I'm just like, oh my God, this guy is insane.
Yeah. That spot when Damian choked him, slammed him through the
yes,
the
thank
table.
you for bringing that up.
You could clearly see that Drew's head hit the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, Triple H said that he's okay. He's like a little banged up, but he's okay because people worry that it's like I hope he didn't get a concussion or something. So,
right.
Thank God, but that did not look good.
Yeah. I said it in our Discord and I'll say it to the other internets. If for people that say that you can't tell a story in the ring, Pat McAfee and Gunther told you you're wrong.
Yeah. And also Becky Lyra.
Yes. That was my next one. Was also that storytelling that those two women did was amazing. Because you felt the tension. You felt that hate between the two.
I knew the match. I knew the match had reached like an excellent level, like 4-star level. When Jessica Carr was trying to put the turnbuckle back on, she hits Becky with her Nightwing finisher, and she's out of position. And so when she goes to finally count, Becky's able to kick out, and the fans were like, "Ah!" Yeah,
but I will say this though: it's one of those that we kind of was like, "Oh, that was it." Like when she beat her with the roll up.
Mm-hmm.
But I was expecting.
I was really happy as fans of both ladies. It's like that's why I've got this and plus along with the promo she cut. This is a very good.
We'll get to that on Raw.
All the people who want to label her Becky Hogan could go fuck off.
Yeah, and she literally in her promo was basically saying that,
And and I love how she's embracing that whole fucking attitude. Yeah. It's like same with Charlotte. It's like,
dude, her promo. Oh God, we'll get to that here in a second. Other things I want to say, and then you're expecting Bayley's going to come out and interrupt and all this other stuff. Never did because here's this, and it kind of dawned on me. I'm like, why isn't Bayley coming out? Because they just debuted Jeff Cobb, so you can't have the next match also have someone run in, and then because you overbooked the shit out of the last match, so you can't.
Also, you didn't want to have too many run-ins because because the Dom Penta match also had a run in. El Grande Americano came in to fuck Penta.
Yeah, Jeff Cobb. Then you had El Grande Americano, obviously the Judgment Day stuff,
and then all the shenanigans that happened in the main
shenanigans. You had obviously
the only two matches that had no interference were Becky Lyra and McAfee.
Cole technically.
So really, the only match that had no outside interference was Becky Lyra.
Yeah, but the one that made the most sense was the Michael Cole thing, because he was part of that story. It wasn't like oh my God, Jeff Cobb debuts out of nowhere, or El Americano. I get why he did the run in with Penta, but it really didn't. That wasn't part of that story between Penta and Dom. You know, in a sense, in a sense. Whereas it was literally the story was Michael Cole, Pat McAfee, Gunther. That was the story. So obviously Michael Cole was going to get involved,
right?
And shout outs and that reversal of the two flips, like I'll flip off the turnbuckle to a flip. Yeah, I was like, he still got. I'm sorry, guys. I was very sports entertained by that match.
Yeah,
I would put it that way. This Backlash ended up being a little bit better just because I had a little bit of low expectations going into it. So I'm with you on overbooking with Cena. He just can't go as much like he
overall,
used to.
It's ended up being still like a good show, but not like a great show.
No. I was entertained, but I wasn't disappointed.
Yeah.
You know, that's a 3-star show.
Yeah.
2.5 to 3-star show.
Yeah. 3-star show.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to Raw. The show opened with a promo from CM Punk. He is pissed at Paul Heyman's betrayal at Mania, but is more mad at himself for trusting him again despite his previous betrayals. By the way, this was at my hometown in Louisville, Kentucky. Despite his previous betrayals of Punk, he promised to choke the life out of Heyman and then gets his hands on Seth. Heyman, along with Seth and Braun, come out. Seth tells Punk he is the one who betrayed Heyman, not the other way around. He brings up Punk costing him the world title like last week, and Punk vows he will never let Seth win it while he is standing on his 2 feet. Seth says Punk always wants to be the martyr, so that can be arranged. Braun and Seth storm to the ring to attack Punk. They gang up on him, but before Seth can use a steel chair on him, Sami Zayn runs in for the save. The heels turn the tide again, beating them down. So Jey Uso comes out to help, and the three of them force Team Heyman to retreat. Penta defeated Chad Gable, right? You know, with the Canadian Destroyer. Finally, the Canadian Destroyer is a finisher.
Yeah, but it should be treated as a finisher.
Right. A promo aired from Roxanne Perez and Julia. Roxanne said this division isn't safe anymore because of them. Julia said that they were there to take over. Roxanne says that they are the future of this industry, and they are. Yeah, I mean, no lies.
I was like, where's the lie? I wanted to message you. I'm like, this promo, no lies detected, right?
No lies detected. Yeah, referring to them and taking on Io and Rhea.
Those two are the future.
Yep. Dominic Mysterio kind of accuses Finn Balor of almost costing him the IC title at Backlash, but everything is cool. Also, Dom doesn't know time zones.
Apparently he doesn't understand how time zones work.
Yeah.
Carlito had to explain to him.
It was funny, but it was weird.
Night where Liv is in Japan is because of the time difference.
Yeah, and then also Carlito trying to ask out, but wanted to use her credit card.
I think he's wearing Raquel down.
Yeah, he's Anyway, Sami Zayn and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker is made official for Saturday night's main event on May 24th. We then see Punk and Sami talking in the locker room. Punk admits he is worried about trusting people right now. Sami understands, says he felt the same about trusting Punk when he teamed up with the Bloodline at War Games, and that worked out great. Punk agrees and says they are good. American Made defeated the War Raiders thanks to interference from the New Day, who were on commentary for the match, with Woods distracting Eric and the ref. Kofi shoved Ivar off the top rope, and the Creeds followed up by the Brutus Ball for the win. In the back, Seth with Heyman talks to Braun and says Sami and Punk think they got one up on them tonight, but they have no idea what he is capable of. He wants Braun to do one more thing, which he whispers in his ear. Seth says, have some fun, and leaves as Braun smiles. They recap Logan Paul attacking Jey Uso after Raw ended last week, along with a promo Paul cut in the back saying he is going to beat Jey for the title. Jey versus Logan for the world title is set for Saturday night's main event. Jey Uso comes out to cut a promo on Logan Paul, but Gunther interrupts. He tells Jey that he talked to Adam Pearce, and Gunther will face the winner of Jey versus Logan for the world title on the June 9th Raw. He hopes it's Jey so he can put him in his place and get the world title back around his waist where it belongs. Jey responds by saying this is his place, but he will beat Logan at Saturday night's main event, then beat Gunther again afterwards. Io Sky cuts a promo, says she is ready to teach Roxanne and Julia about respect when her and Rhea face them tonight. Cole and Pat take a moment to pay tribute to Sabu, who passed away over the weekend. After a video package airs, the fans chant, "Thank you, Sabu."
That was really nice.
That was really nice. Jackie Redmond is about to interview Ludwig Kaiser. Poor Kaiser. He still can't get a word in. When we hear commotion and the camera moves over to the show to show Braun Breaker with Heyman, attacks Jey Uso and laid him out. Sami and officials run in to check on him as the heels leave. AJ Styles defeated Finn Balor. Finn hasn't won since like 2020. Thanks to Penta coming out to take care of JD and Carlito on the outside. Dominic did not come out to help them. This allows AJ to hit Finn with a phenomenal forearm, which took way too long, and Finn just sat there and took it, which was weird. Becky Lynch came out to cut a great promo saying despite losing to Lyra Backlash, she still came out on top because she sent Lyra to the hospital after the match. She said she had a revelation during the match. She left for a year due to backlash from the fans. Yes, they helped build her up and carry her to the main event of WrestleMania. They turned on her afterwards after she kept on winning. They didn't like seeing her succeed while they failed in life. What everyone accuses her of being greedy, angry, selfish is what she is going to be.
Awesome.
Yep. We get a video promo from Rusev. What he did to Otis and Tozawa last week was not what he wanted to do, but what he had to do. He can't leave his brothers until they all wake up. He would rather see people fall at his hands than fall into the abyss. Akira Tozawa and wants Rusev, but Raw GM Adam Pearce says he's not cleared yet. Sheamus comes in, gives props to Tozawa for standing up to Rusev last week, and then asks Pearce for a match with Grayson Waller next week because, I never understood that. It's like, all right, it's cool. Anyway, I want Grayson Waller. Like, okay. Main event, Io Sky and Ripley defeated Roxanne and Julia with Rhea hitting Riptide on Julia. Rhea stared at the women's championship belt as her and Io's hands were raised in victory to close out the show. A video was posted on social media afterwards showing Roxanne talking to Julia in the back, upset over losing, say they need to regroup to fix this, but Julia tells her there is no we, and walks away, leaving Roxanne frustrated. That's the show, and congratulations, WWE. What did that tag team match do for Roxanne and Julia?
Yeah, it's like, look.
It was an amazing match, by the way.
Look. It's not all bad. It's them losing is the problem.
It's not all bad, but
no, it's obvious. It's very obvious. The fact that they have been featured so heavily. They were the main event. Yeah. So
if this wasn't the main event, I'd be super worried.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like them losing isn't like the best booking move, but you can tell. Like Roxanne said in the promo, WWE sees those two, along with Stephanie Becker and others that are coming up from NXT, are the future. They are the future, and it's like the way that they are being featured says that. But them losing like that doesn't do them any favors. If you want to build them up right, why aren't they winning matches against other people? It doesn't make any sense. And I agree with a lot of people. This definitely feels like this whole storyline was originally meant to be Roxanne and Cora. But when they got rid of Cora, that's when they inserted Juliet to replace her. Because because it did feel like them teaming up did come out of nowhere. If it had been Cora Jade, it would have made a lot more sense. It wouldn't, it's like, but hey, we already went over Cora getting released sucks, but the fact that they're like, okay, let's put Julie in here is like, that was like, dude, that's great for her. It was weird booking choice to have them lose. I don't see how that benefits them, but I'm not worried about their future. It's just like head scratching. Like what was the point of that? It's like, but I'm not worried about them. It's like they're not buried. It's like it's very clear what they think of these two ladies. It was just really weird. It's like it feels like it's like, is it being used just to further the Rhea and Io storyline? I don't know. That's my only complaint about the show was them losing the match. The match was really good. I'm glad that they got featured. They got the main event spot. It was great. That Louisville crowd was a little weird because it's like they're only into some stuff during the night. It's like I felt that they were kind of like not all over the place. Yeah, they were really all over the place, and like I was really disappointed that like the main event didn't get as much heat as it should have, because the ladies were working really hard. But yeah, it's like happy for Roxanne and Julia, two of our favorites here. Just weird booking decision to have them lose. Don't understand it. So
without any shenanigans or nothing, just straight.
And we still don't know for 100% certain if they are officially called up again or not. It's like their promo seems to imply it, even though, but Michael Cole has not said, like, we have not seen Michael Cole say anything or Adam Pearce do anything, or like Fraxium it's like Adam Pearce, Nick Aldis and the announcers made it very clear that Fraxium was officially called up and that they're part of the SmackDown roster. Where Roxanne and Julia, we don't know if they're officially part of the roster yet or not. It's really weird. So you would assume so, the way that they've been showing up on the shows lately. But despite that, enjoyed the match. There was a lot of good stuff. The Becky promo, like I said, was great. That she did a good job there. I also like a lot of the other promo work, like the Rusev stuff. And the opening promo with Punk and everything, that was a good setup for keep that stuff going.
Hold on. Let me go back to that. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What did Seth say that he hasn't already said 17 million times?
Yeah, I think he needs to change it up just a little bit.
Because he's just like, you're a can't. Although I did like Heyman's reaction when he was like he was like, Punk's a cancer, he's this, he's that. And Heyman was like, no, he's not. Like, he was giving him that look. And then and then Seth said something else, and Paul Heyman started to nod his head.
Well, when he basically said what happened at Mania was Punk's fault, not Heyman's. Basically saying, it's like you're the one who screwed it. It's like you're the one who did the betrayal, not him, because of you choosing to want him to be in your corner. Put him between a rock and a hard place, that he was in a Kobayashi Maru no-win situation, and so that's why he did what he did. It's like so that when he went to that part, that's when Heyman was like, okay, it's obviously that he, despite what happened, he's not. It seems his anger was more directed at Roman than Punk. Yeah. Punk was just like you shouldn't have done that. It's like, because like even at Mania, he was like, "What? Look what you made me do." He didn't want to do that to Punk, but he felt he had no choice. Right. Whereas Roman, that felt more personal because of what, and that's been building for a long time. And he brought up the way he's been treating him and stuff like that. He finally had enough, and then Roman screwed the pooch last year, and then it's like he listed it was a domino effect. First he screwed himself out of the title. Then he wasn't there for Heyman after he got put through the table, and when he came back, it wasn't for Heyman, it was for the Precious Ulufala, when he talked to Jay last week. So his actions are all justified. But I agree, Seth needs to freshen up his, he's saying the same stuff over again about Punk. It's getting a little old, he has cancer, he's, blah, blah, blah. It's like, can we get that? Can we have something a little differently? I'm with you on that. Otherwise, all that stuff, all the interaction, loved it. Nice setup for the tag match. That's going to be a very interesting match. Jay getting involved made me wonder, all right, are they going to add a third person soon? And
the internet blew up. Who's the third man? I said, it's like, well, it's Logan Paul, but then Logan Paul really never showed up. They just played his promos from other, previously, taped and stuff.
Logan Paul, I wouldn't make.
He's not. He does too many other things. He can't. It won't add to. It would diminish from it, because it would make sense if he was week to week full time with them. And he's really not.
Perfect if he's ready to come back would be Bronson Reed.
Yeah, that would be pretty good.
That would be a good fit.
Although I would really like Ethan Page to be part of that.
You never know.
You never know. What was the one thing?
I did love. I was wondering, when he whispers, I'm like, he's sending. I was like, Braun's gonna go murder someone tonight, and I was like, oh, there it is. He attacked Jay.
And I did like Jackie. That was funny if you think about it. Jackie was just like her opening comments to Lou was just like, you just really haven't been you've been wanting to be featured and shown, and then right as soon as he's about to talk, he's like, you just haven't been on the air, or just haven't been, and I know you've been doing some work. What do you think? Oh, I'm sorry, Lou, I got to go over here.
Yeah, it's like that was very.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kaiser would be the third guy. Like,
Yeah,
honestly.
Also, they're subtly hinting that Sheamus is going to cross paths with Rusev because of.
Yeah, I did think that was a weird pivot though, because he was like, "I respect you, but you're just not medically cleared." And then Sheamus comes in and goes, "By the way, I want Grayson Waller." I'm like,
"Yeah,
okay." But that being said, you and Rusev, you've done amazing matches before, but that was years ago.
Yeah, so
and you were part of that weird, dumb faction that they just they basically just made. So the League of Nations or whatever. So
they really need to need to improve the tag division, man, because it's just like it feels like. Yeah. Like I feel bad because I'm like, oh, I love the Creed brothers so much. Like, I want them to have the tag titles. It's so bad.
Yeah. There's just literally you have no one. You have no one. Dominic not knowing time zones.
That was funny. Okay, that was a funny bit.
That was funny. The whole Carlito just like, can we use your? I was like, can we you want to go out for dinner? Can we use your credit card?
Yeah, Carlito's bringing the funny right now.
Yeah. It needs desperate help. You're not
exactly, Giff. It is in desperate need of help right now. It's like that division is so much weaker compared to SmackDown. It's not even fun.
And I'm saying, this is weeks ever since he's returned. JD's got a different thing, in a positive way. JD's gotten a little like I'm buying into J, and plus he's probably the best seller on the Raw roster to me on that. But
and I like that Dominic's kind of like. I think it's like he doesn't want to see it, but I think he's definitely seeing the signs that Finn is not happy.
Yeah.
But he's like he's hiding it,
right? But I'm guessing my theory. Now you might not have heard me say this earlier in the show, Giff. My theory is they're going to have Rey Fenix go to Raw, and they're just going to do the Lucha Bros.
Well, they're building toward a Lucha Bros reunion because El Grande has fucked both of them over, and
sure.
And Penta hinted at it. He's like because when he beat up Gable like last week, he said don't be messing with the Lucha Bros. He's like, which he's talking about both him and his brother Fenix over at SmackDown. It's like, don't fuck with us.
Well, it's because he brought up Ray.
It feels like they're. I'll tell you what. I won't be surprised if they have the Lucha Brothers reunite for Worlds Collide, for the Worlds Collide show.
Mm-hmm.
Team up against El Grande and somebody else.
Yeah, I will say though. I mean, I think your work's done. Penta's over.
Yeah,
he does great matches. He's got that his entrance with
the tag division could really use the tag division. Rock could use the
Lucha Bros. Honestly, just give me Lucha Bros versus the Usos at this point.
Well, I think eventually that's a dream match that's going to happen.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a dream match. I want the Lucha Bros versus the Usos so bad.
I want Lucha Bros against everybody. Lucha
Lucha
Bros against Fraxio against like anything. It's like because there's so many good tag teams right now in WWE. It's like gonna have some banger matches in the future.
Oh, they're both gonna be in Money in the Bank. That's for sure. Yeah, and then they tag. Yeah, on that. AJ,
I'll be surprised if both of them end up. You know what? I won't be surprised if they both end up qualifying for Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, your thought. I'll give you the floor. Your girl killed it in that promo.
Yeah, Becky still got it. It's like
Becky still got it, man. She still got it, and she kept cutting a promo as she got on her bus too.
Yep.
So yeah, dude, that felt like a liberating promo from her.
Mm-hmm.
Of just that was kind of a shoot promo in a sense.
It was. I love how
she's just like I'm getting all this crap, and all I'm doing is my job.
Taking some of the IWC bullshit and using it as fuel for the heel work. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's see what else do I?
Okay. What are we doing with the Jay Gunther stuff, man? Why do we rinse and repeat that?
I fear what other people have said is true. This is a setup for Goldberg versus Gunther.
I just don't want for the title.
Well, Gunther's not going to win the title. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, isn't that Raw after Money in the Bank?
Yes, it's not. Yeah. I thought it was going to be at Money in the Bank when he said the date, but then I looked it up and they made it clear that it's the Raw after Money in the Bank. So that's why I was like, Fuck.
So
It's-
then
they're gonna set it up that it's like because they're not gonna have Gunther lose clean to Jay again.
no.
That would be a big mistake.
You ready for my overbooking?
They're probably gonna have Goldberg interfere and cost him the match.
Yeah. You ready for my overbooking for the for that also could cost him the match, but I'm gonna be super overbooked. So Braun Breaker is gonna win Money in the Bank. And then after Jay gets beat to a pulp by Gunther, Goldberg comes out, helps him. And then next thing you know, Braun Breaker's music hits and he hands the case. No, he hands the case to Seth.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
You ready? You ready?
No.
You like that overbooking?
No,
you like that overbooking?
No, because I wouldn't want Braun to give up the briefcase.
I'm aware. Yeah. Oh, dude. KO get better. I want that too. KO versus
When KO comes back next year, we have to have that as well.
But yeah, that's my overbooking for you on that Raw. And
it's still happening too. Damn it!
It in a sense, like Seth needs the title, right? And obviously Braun's
it's very clear he's eventually going to take the title from Jay. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah,
it's not an if, it's when.
Shout out to Jay for picking that little kid up and yeeted with.
Yeah, that was cute.
That was cute. I enjoy that. I mean,
but,
his entrance does not disappoint. IWC can say all you want to about Jey Uso. He sells merch.
Yeah, he's incredibly popular.
I mean, do you see how many people had the Yeet armband that I've never seen before? Speaking about merch, do you know who the top T-shirt seller is? Karrion Kross.
I heard. Oh, that's right. I heard something about that. That his shirt is. That should hopefully. It's like put him in Money in the Bank. Damn it.
So first, as far as Karrion Kross, he was featured on Main Event, which was dumb. The only time we saw him was a backstage of him showing his shirt to the New Day, which was just whatever. But 2 weeks in a row, Finn's talking to Roxanne. That's the second week in a row, isn't it?
I didn't see that. He was talking to her again.
I think so.
So that's not a one-off. That means something. If he was talking,
I thought I could have saw this. I could have saw the same picture just 2 weeks in a row, but I thought I saw it because I don't remember it. I don't remember seeing them in the background because sometimes you miss that stuff. Yeah, but I thought I saw them twice. GIF, let me know if I'm correct on that. In the comments.
That's all. You have any other thoughts about Raw before we move to?
No, because we're already at an hour 30 and we've got some NXT. We got some great NXT.
So you're with me about Roxanne and Julia losing, but I'm not worried about them.
The match was way too good. I just didn't like the finish. I didn't like the finish at all. The match was amazing though, and congratulations to Roxanne Perez becoming the youngest woman to main event Raw in history.
It's Monday Night Rocks, baby.
So I mean, she is just breaking records this year, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, she is the longest. She's the Iron Woman, the longest anyone's ever spent in a
Women's Royal Rumble. She has that record.
She has that record. She also is the first, the youngest woman to ever main event a Raw, and I forget there was another one that she broke. She wasn't the longest reigning women's NXT champion, but
she's on the short list of two-time champions. There's only been the only other two-time champions are Charlotte Flair and Shayna Baszler, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I don't think Rhea got it twice.
No.
But that's the thing. They're in a rock and a hard place with that of who takes that because Rhea and Io's super over right now, so they're not gonna pin her. And what are you gonna do? Sacrifice Rhea? Like I understand why they did it. I just didn't like it.
That's the other thing. You remind me. I'm so happy for Io because I've been an Io fan for a long time. I'm really happy that this is the most over she has ever been on the main roster.
Yeah, because you have signs now they're doing this.
And even Rhea's doing it with her.
You're right. I mean, what she called her out. She was like,
"This is getting over."
Yeah. So
I saw a lot of the fans were doing it when she did it. It's like
Io is made.
Yeah,
Io is made.
I'm happy because she deserves it. She's one of the best.
She's
seriously, just looking at that main event before we go on to Dynamite, you had 4 of the best women's wrestlers on the planet in one match in the main event of Raw.
And they gave him a lot of time.
And they gave him a good amount, and they gave him a nice amount of time too. They all got to shine.
Yeah, just didn't like the finish based on bias.
Yeah,
and where
same here. It's like,
just because I know I'm just like, all right, this, like I said, they better know where they're going with this.
Yeah,
because I said when was my complaint going into Backlash with Lyra. I was like, if she loses to Becky, you better have a plan. She didn't lose to Becky, and it didn't hurt either. And like I said, it's not going to hurt Becky.
No,
it would hurt Lyra.
It makes Lyra look better.
And that match was amazing. That boosted Lyra.
It's helping her get over. She's getting more over as a baby.
Yeah,
and also the fact that post show video. It was posted to socials, but Triple H himself retweeted that video of Roxanne and Julia in the back after the show. So if Triple H is retweeting it, there's a reason. It means it's important. So that's why I'm like, okay, this better be going somewhere, Triple H. It's like I'm trusting you.
Right. All right. Dynamite here. Show opens with Will Ospreay and Hangman Page in an excellent match, defeating the Don Callis family with a combination buckshot and hidden blade on Alexander. The family attacks Will after the match, and he fights him off, but accidentally elbows Hangman in the chaos. They have a stare down, but Will backs off and leaves. Just great storytelling. I can't believe I'm saying about an AEW show, but great storytelling in that match.
Yeah.
Top Flight are interviewed backstage by Renee. They cut a promo on facing the Hurt Syndicate tonight. Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara show up and wish them luck, and they will be watching. Dustin Rhodes and Sammy just make no sense. Ricochet defeated Zach Gowen with the Spirit Gun. Ricochet attacks Gowen more afterwards, but Mark Briscoe makes the save, giving Zach his artificial leg back. And the fact that Ricochet tried to put him in the 4-figure leg lock, I was almost in tears.
Yeah.
Laughing at that. That was amazing spot. MJF's interview is crashed by MVP, who tells them to come out after their match with Top Flight for their answer to him joining the group. The Hurt Syndicate defeated Top Flight in an AEW Tag Team Championship eliminator match, with Lashley making Dante pass out in the Hurt Lock. He won't let go after the match until Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara come out. They want to face them for the tag titles, but Crew, Action Andrade, and Leo Rush, which for those who don't know, Leo Rush was the manager of Bobby Lashley back in WWE.
And he alluded to that when he's like, "Yo, Bobby, you and I, man, we got history." I was like, "Yes."
To gain an edge, MVP says he has a solution in that both teams wrestle on Collision. Winner gets to face the Hurt Syndicate for the tag titles at Double or Nothing, and they accept. After commercial break, MVP calls out MJF for their answer, but he doesn't come out. When his music plays, Shelton goes to the back, and Tony Khan rats out MJF hiding behind a gorilla.
He's like, he's right here.
So he comes to the ring. MVP and Shelton are thumbs up and still for MJF. Lashley teases thumbs down again, but finally gives him a thumbs up and hug much to MJF's happiness. MVP says they will sign a contract and make him joining the group official next week. Mina Shirakawa defeated Tony Storm, and Sky Blue and AZM in a 4-way AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator match, because Justin loves these things. By pinning Tony, she will face Talent Tony Storm for the AEW Championship at Double or Nothing. AZM is being helped to the back when Mercedes Moné comes out to attack. Payback for losing the New Japan Strong Women's title to her over the weekend. Jamie Hayter makes the save and puts Moné in a crossface of her own. She goes for the Haterade, but officials break up the fight. The announcer take a moment to pay tribute to Sabu, with Taz offering a very, very amazing, heartfelt and personal tribute. And they and the fans all throw up their fingers. That's not to Roman Reigns, guys. That is to Sabu. Backstage, MJF is excited. He finally is joining the Hurt Syndicate next week. He tells MVP he will have his lawyer, Mark Sterling, look. Oh, wow, Mark Sterling. That name got dropped again. I forgot about that. So I saw the notes over the contract. MVP doesn't seem thrilled, but but relents when MJF asks, "Would you sign something you didn't have a lawyer check?" And they leave to celebrate. Tony Schiavone is in the ring with Nigel McGuinness and Danny Garcia about what happened with FTR on Collision. Nigel apologizes for getting involved in the match with FTR when FTR got physical with him at ringside and costing Garcia the win. Garcia says he shouldn't be sorry for doing what was right after FTR disrespected him. He asked Nigel to help him against FTR, but Nigel doesn't want to get involved. Stokely Hathaway comes out claiming FTR isn't there tonight and goes after Nigel and Garcia, telling Nigel he can shove it with his apology because he put his hands on FTR and that will have consequences. FTR wants Nigel and Garcia in a tag match so they can hurt them without getting in trouble. Nigel is hesitating to get involved. Garcia tries to convince him when FTR sneak attacks them for a beatdown, but Daddy Magic comes out with the crowbar to make the save. In the main event, John Moxley defeated Samoa Joe in a steel cage match. Can you believe John Moxley bled in this match? That's crazy.
Oh, it's shocking. Shocking.
Oh my God.
Another news,
the writers,
water's wet.
Right. The writers try and storm the cage to interfere, but Hobbs and Willow stop them. During the chaos, a hooded man slides Moxley the title belt briefcase, and he clocks Joe with it to pin him. The mysterious man is revealed to be Gabe Kidd from New Japan. The Bucks come down and offer a handshake to Mox, but Kenny Omega runs down to attack, but Okada cuts him off. He sends him into the ring, and Matt Jackson lowers the cage so the Death Riders Kidd and the Bucks can beat down Joe and Omega. Speedball Mike Bailey attacks Okada, and then Swerve comes out and dives into the cage for the save. The Hills escape the cage as the baby faces gather in the ring. Swerve challenges them to anarchy in the arena at Double or Nothing to close out the show. Just give us blood and guts at this point. At that, that's where it's going.
Yeah. I was like, this feels like a set for anarchy. I was like, oh, there it is. What's the worst?
Yeah. But, Gabe Kidd, man. As long as Gabe Kidd's involved, I'm good.
That I was like, who the fuck is that? It's like I didn't recognize him at first, and then like it's Gabe Kidd. I was like, oh. And then I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck is he doing here?
Yeah. When Gabe Kidd's contract comes up in New Japan, he's not only is probably going to AEW. I don't see where he fits in WWE based off his character work. AEW is much more fit for Gabe Kidd's character in his presentation to me on that. Now,
so it made me wonder, like, why is Gabe Kidd all of a sudden helping out the Death Riders here?
It's not the Death Riders.
I didn't realize it until someone online brought it up. I forget who it was. Storyline wise, Gabe is the one that is responsible for putting Eddie Kingston on the shelf.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if Eddie is ready to come back, it would make sense Gabe Kidd being involved in this match, and then you have the final member of the Babyface team be Eddie Kingston for his big return, and he can go get payback on Gabe Kidd.
Kenny's first match back was in New Japan against Gabe Kidd.
Also, he also has history with Omega.
Yeah.
So
plus, as far as certain things are concerned, he is that over New Japan. So I know there's like 17 million Bullet Club members if you look at the history, but that's the only. I'm trying to connect the dots here. It's
yeah.
AEW,
It's like I was just like why is he? It's like they didn't say he was joining the Death Riders or anything, and we're like, I don't remember him working with the Elite, so it was just like it was weird. But overall, I thought the show was fine.
Yeah.
I did like some of the storyline advancements, especially like between Ospreay and Hangman, getting into their match at the pay-per-view. Don't look. Champions getting pinned in non-title matches. Mini Shirakawa was great and everything, but it's like you could have had them set up a title match a better way than that. Because now it's like there's no way she's losing the title to Mina. And plus, it's not fair to Mina. They just signed her, and then they throw her into a title match, and she can't win. It's like I hate when Tony does that.
Yeah, but like, when you've got the Owen Hart championships, Hayter and Monet.
I just have it's like the way that he's booked Mercedes doesn't make me think Jamie Hayter's has any chance.
No, but I'm just saying, like, at least the matchups on. That's what I'm saying. We'll get over the finish and who's going to go over, but the fact that we have Will and Hangman, and then for the women we have Jamie and.
The matches will be great. It's just that it's like,
and we've been complaining.
I'd rather see Jamie win than fucking Mercedes.
Right. I'm with you 100%. But and also ever since Jamie came back, there was a long time where we're like, what the frick is he doing with Jamie? Here we go. We finally.
It finally feels like she's been put back into the upper title picture where she belongs.
Because they're losing Mariah May. You better have someone to replace Mariah May, and Jamie's it.
Yeah, she sent out a weird post on her Instagram today about that she was finally being let out of her cage. So people are wondering what's going on there.
Was that Jamie or Mariah?
I didn't notice this, but a lot of people said it, and apparently it's. I missed it. Well, when the announcers were bringing up the history between Tony and Mina being involved in a triangle. They didn't mention Mariah May by name at all.
No,
that's not a good sign.
She's gone.
She's probably on her way out.
Well, I mean, that's why they cut Cora. That's the only reason I can see behind them cutting Cora. It's because they're going to pay Mariah May a lot more money. And Mariah May, I don't know. I don't know what her wrestling skills is compared to Cora.
I didn't notice that, but when people pointed that out, I'm like, oh, that's not a good sign.
No,
because that's not. They wouldn't make a mistake like that. It's like when you're talking about like storylines, it's like you're going to mention people involved by name. They purposely left Mariah's name out as the third person in that triangle.
Mm-hmm. How in the hell did Will Ospreay's elbow literally get like this close to Hangman and pause?
I don't know. That's a testament to how good Ospreay is, I think.
I mean, good God. I was like, I was like, oh, damn. Did he just, and Hangman's like reaction to it and Will's reaction to it was like, oh, shit.
That was great.
That was just like that opening match was just so freaking good.
Yeah.
The Hurt Syndicate stuff with MJF. I'm finally glad that they're actually progressing and not doing the will they won't they shit.
I have a bad feeling things are not going to turn out well for MJF in this contract signing because Cedric Alexander's 90-day non-compete is up.
Yeah. But I will say I think this is more just leading to MJF getting two other dudes.
It feels like a setup where they're going to wreck him.
Right. Either they're going to wreck MJF or MJF is setting them up to wreck them at this contract sign.
Something's gonna happen next week.
He mentioned Mark Sterling, and anytime Mark Sterling's involved,
he showed up. Mark Sterling actually came in and during the segment.
Oh, I forgot that. My bad. I didn't see that.
He was actually there in the flesh.
Oh, okay. It's just like Mark Sterling. Where have you been, bud?
That's an old reference. Like he did work for MJ like a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Oh, that's like that's going back a ways.
Remember those cheesy? I think they put them in the. Didn't they put those cheesy Mark Sterling attorney at law ads in the BTE stuff?
Yes, I think they. did.
Speaking about that, I just read something, and I don't know if you saw it. They got a cease and desist on the reason we don't get BTE anymore is because they got a cease and desist on doing it.
From who?
And people are thinking it was Punk's people. That's the rumor of why they don't do. That's why. Remember, they stopped doing BTE pretty close after that whole drama went down, and then they had the Dark Order take over and do it for a little bit, and then the viewers went down, and then they just never did it again. And apparently, like Kenny I think Kenny came out, which
I heard of Kenny saying that they just couldn't do it anymore because they just didn't have the time and as EVPs to do it.
Not the statement I saw about a couple days ago. So again, this is the dirt sheets at work. I read something and sometimes I kind of roll with it, and it might not be true. So, but anyway,
yeah, I'm liking the MJF Hurt Syndicate storyline. It's been entertaining.
Yep. Nigel McGuinness getting involved in the ring is never a bad thing.
I don't know. Nothing. I love Nigel McGuinness very, very much. Both in the ring and outside the ring as an announcer. He's one of the best guys they got on the announce desk.
Yeah.
And I like Daniel Garcia. This feels like a filler feud for FTR.
Super. Yeah. No, this is not the end game for FTR. And Stokely, at first I was like, I don't get the
because it's like I would rather want them to honestly, I want them to destroy the Hurt Syndicate at some point and take the tag titles.
Yeah,
because I like this heel FTR with Stokely as their manager.
Stokely is so good. It actually works. I didn't think it would work just because they're just two different type of.
When he brought up the hepatitis, I was like, oh Jesus.
Yeah.
He was getting vicious.
Stokely's ruthless on the mic, dude.
He is
ridiculous how good he is. On that,
I mean, I'm sure it'll be a good match, but it just feels like FTR should be feuding with better people. Higher up the food chain. But that's my personal opinion. I was fine with how the main event turned out. I knew there was going to be interference shenanigans. Just didn't expect Gabe Kidd. And then with all the people who were running in, I was like, okay, this is obviously an Anarchy and the Rita setup. And yep, there it is. Swerve said it. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's going to be the main event. It would be a weird choice to main event the pay-per-view because they really don't have – because there's not going to be a world title match apparently. Unless Moxley is not involved in Anarchy Arena, which wouldn't make any sense at all.
No, he's going to be involved. I guess you would – no, you wouldn't do that.
Because right now on the babyface, like they seem to imply that the women are going to get involved, but that would be a little weird. I'm sure Willow and Marina are going to get involved anyway.
Willow signed an extension, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
I heard word is that she did resign. Good for her. They should keep her. She's one of the best women they've got.
Yep,
and she's awesome.
She's one of the best and most consistent that they have.
Yeah, she should eventually be women's world champion at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Her TBS title run was unfortunately cut short because of Mercedes.
Yeah.
But anyway, because on the babyface side, you've got Swerve, Kenny, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs. I would assume
Shibata,
but it's like they've had Shibata off TV for a bit, I guess, to sell that he's like injured, where like Hook is actually legit injured.
Right, I know that. That's why Powerhouse Hobbs is part of it.
Yeah, that's why they had brought in Powerhouse Hobbs in the first place into the group too.
Maybe they might bring someone over from New Japan since Gabe Kidd's involved.
Or it's like I said, the Eddie Kingston theory I saw.
Oh, that's true. Eddie Kingston could make his return, but that was a gnarly injury that Kingston did. So who knows?
It's if he's ready to return, I don't know.
Right.
It's like I know he's like I saw an interview not telling he's tired of being on the shelf. He wants to get back in the ring.
Yeah. No, you can't. You're not keeping Eddie Kingston out of the ring. No, Eddie Kingston is a special wrestler.
We'll see. I was like, that's only if Eddie's like ready to return. But you know, it's like, that was a very interesting theory.
Yeah. So I think it's probably either Shibata comes back or they'll have somebody from New Japan that Gabe Kidd's feuding with it. I don't know. Or, I mean, Naito's contract is Naito's contract's technically up in January.
From the brief work I've seen with him, I'm not impressed, honestly.
With Naito,
like, match he had with Moxley, like I think it was at Forbidden Door. Was it like last year? Was like not good.
Okay, I'm throwing out names because we're at an hour 46. So fine. The way I look at AEW Dynamite is like, hey, are you keeping me invested in this? And the only one that I was really not totally invested in was kind of like we were saying was like, I just think it's fodder for Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes. Don't care, but the Hurt Syndicate's doing stuff with them.
Yeah, also it's like it's very obvious that they're being just fed teams because they don't have it. Yeah. It's like because like Top Flight has not been treated as like a top tier team, and you bring in Dustin and Sammy. They've been in ROH hell for a long time. They're the ROH tag team champions, but hardly anyone ever watches ROH. So it's like. So it's very obvious that they're being brought in just to job to the Hurt Syndicate.
So, but other than that, like I cared about pretty much every segment.
There's stuff I'm invested in. There's still some inconsistencies, but it's entertaining.
That's what you want. Is it entertaining or not? If it's not entertaining, then they're not doing their job.
Entertaining. There's a lot of entertainment going on still with NXT.
Yep. We'll get into that. So the show opened with, on NXT, the show opened with the New Quarter Catch crew coming out to the ring as number one contender. Miles Bourne cut a promo. He shocked the world last week, winning the Battle Royal to become the number one contender to the NXT Championship. He explains to those who may not know he is partially deaf, which affects his speech and the way he talks. Bourne said he doesn't want to be known as the deaf kid because he wants to be judged by his ability, not by his disability. He knows Obafemi is dominant, but he believes he can win and will shock the world again when he beats Oba for an NXT title at Battleground. Ethan Page interrupted him and spoke slowly to mock him. Dude, Ethan's so freaking good.
Ethan's so good.
Saying he can't. Oh, he also dropped his newest. I got to watch it after the show. He dropped his new vlog.
Yeah, a new vlog.
Yeah, to mock him, saying he can't beat Oba. He isn't on Oba or Page's level. He says if he really wants to prove himself, he will face Page in a month tonight. In a match tonight. Month tonight. Jesus. Read, man. Gosh, I am just off tonight. Read. Do you speak English? And put the number one contendership on the line. Charlie told Miles it was a good idea, and despite Tavion and Ren saying no, Miles accepted. Ava comes out and says she isn't sure this is the best move for him, but she will allow the match to happen tonight. NXT champion Obafemi defeated Charlie Dempsey in a non-title match. We see footage from earlier today when Thea Hale and Carmen Petrovich were talking and run into Tatum Paxley in the back. She's freaking out and upset about her friends leaving her. They didn't leave you.
and says
They got
Thea.
fired.
Yeah, it says Thea is a terrible friend.
Yeah, Gigi. She was referring to Gigi and Shotzi, who both got let go.
Right. Thea is a terrible friend and stuff, and they leads to them having a match later. Wes Lee defeated Tony D'Angelo thanks to Stacks appearing on the video screen saying that he found where Rizzo was hiding out and was going to pay her a visit. That distracted Tony, and Wes hit him with the cardiac kick for the win. Tony left the ring area and the building to go after Stacks. Also, before the match, Wesley did a promo and announced that his group with Tyreek and Tyson is called The High Rise, which if people paid attention to the dirt sheets, they copywrote that about 2 weeks ago or so. Or not copyrighted, but trademarked that about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I don't know about the name, but we'll see. We'll see if it grows.
Hey, man. They're going straight back to the 90s. And
they've been a faction for a while, so it figures they eventually...
Yeah.
I'm cool with it.
Yep. Another promo video from OTM aired, hyping themselves up for their return. NXT Women's Champion Stephanie Vaquera came out to cut a promo talking about facing Jordan Grace at Battleground for the title. Fatal Influences JC Jane and Fallon Henley came out to interrupt her. Despite some bickering, they agreed that it was only a matter of time before one of them took the title from her. Then Jordan Grace interrupted and said she was here to protect her investment and opportunity. Vaquera said she is not
your investment.
Not her investment. Jane said that while those two were touring the globe, Fatal Influence was in NXT building the division to what it is now. Stephanie told Grace the last time they fought, she won and she will win again. Grace said that this time she's going to win and she'll make sure that Vaquera makes it to Tampa in one piece. The Hills promised whoever wins at Battleground will lose the title to Fatal Influence. This set up a tag team match for the main event. There was backstage scene with Bubba Ray Dudley, The Undertaker, and Tyra May Steele and Zena Sterling from LFG. It was about hyping the LFG finale this weekend with the winning man and women getting NXT contracts. Izzy Dame, Nikita Lyons, Lash Legend, and Lola Vice all came in to wish them good luck lasting in their locker room. Miles Bourne defeated Ethan Pace to remain the number one contender to the NXT Championship with a drop kick followed by a jackknife pin.
They need to give him a more definitive finisher than that.
Yeah, because that match was he's really good.
It was good. It was very good.
A video aired from Sean Legacy of Evolve in his car. He challenged Javon Evans to a match since they had some magic in the Battle Royal last week. And then cut to Javon talking with Ashante, the Adonis, in the locker room. Adonis said indie talent like Legacy is not worth Javon's time. Javon disagreed, saying he respects them because he came up in the indies. Adonis said he'd smoke them both. Ricky Saints was in the background listening and said he'd like to see that. Saints said that the winner could then face him for the North American title after Battleground.
And then they made it official. It will be a three-way between Legacy, Javon, and Ashante next week. Winner will get a North American title shot after in the near future. Apparently not at Battleground, because that's what Ricky was saying, like after Battleground. Because I think he's going to be wrestling Ethan at Battleground.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's what happens at the end of the show.
Yep. Tony made it to the house, but Stacks sneak attacked him with the crowbar to the knee. Stacks said at Battleground he'll finish the Don and put an end to the D'Angelo family once and for all.
Also official for Battleground, Tony versus Stacks.
Thea Hale defeated Tatum Paxley via DQ because Tatum attacked Thea in the eyes and would not stop. The ref and the officials had to pull her off Thea as she kept attacking her. Yeah. In the women's locker room, Jada Parker said that Thea got what she deserved. Kalani Jordan walked in to talk to Sol Ruka and Zarya. Jordan complained about losing to Zarya last week. Jordan said that if she got a rematch with Zarya and won, she gets the North American title shot against Sol. Sol agreed to it, while Zarya was not thrilled about it. Ava had Joe Hendrick and Trick Williams in her office for the contract signing for their TNA title match at Battleground. They exchanged words before the signing the contract. Trick said that this is his house, so he has the advantage. He's bigger than NXT and TNA combined. Trick said that every man has his 15 minutes of fame except him because he's going to take Joe's title and his brand. Joe said that Trick is at a crossroads since there's no pathway for him to the NXT title. Nope. And then when he beats him, Trick gets no more TNA title shots. He said he's going to show Trick what it feels like when your 15 minutes of fame expire.
I was like, damn. It's like Joe is not giving any fucks in this feud, man. That was a stone cold line when he said that.
Yeah, that was a great segment. Hank and Tank are talking to Josh Briggs in the locker room. Surprise, surprise. Tank says they felt bad for Briggs when Inamura leaving to go back to Japan. Briggs said he wished he hadn't pushed him away. Sean Spears then came in and trashed him.
saying he was a cancer for relationship and he should fix that before it's too late. Brick said he had an idea of how to clear his head, meaning he wants Spears in a match. Ava was talking to Kale Dixon in a
Dixon and Uriah Connors, the new Chase U.
Still getting used to their names, so bear with me, people. Of Chase U, Uriah said that they wanted to put Chase U back on the map. Ava said that they could have their debut tag team match next week, and their opponents were a returning OTM. Andre Chase came in just as Ava said that and said, "Guys, what the fuck?" Main event: Stephanie McCurtain and Jordan Grace defeated Fatal Influence when Grace hit beast mode on Jane for the pin. Stephanie and Jordan had a stare down with Grace looking at the title. When then cut to the back to show Ethan Page had attacked Ricky Saints. Page said that he told Ricky they'd pick this up later, so it's later now. Officials came in to get Page to back off. They then cut back to the ring area as Stephanie held up the NXT Women's title in the aisle while Jordan Grace was in the ring looking at her to close out the show. And to add a little off the outside the ring stuff, apparently Stephanie and Miles are a thing.
Yes, apparently it's like there's
a couple pictures of like her with Smiles at one of Miles' family's events or something.
Either Stephanie or Miles posted them showing them hanging out together.
Yeah,
looking really cozy. So it's like people are thinking that they're a couple. So it's like Miles Bourne, I'm very jealous of you, sir. a lot of thirsty men are very jealous if you are indeed dating Stephanie McCurk. She is drop dead gorgeous.
Battleground sounds like it's the end of Tony D'Angelo's going to the main roster.
It feels like it's going to be the end of the line for a couple people. The way that Joe is phrasing it, it's definitely clear that once Joe takes care of Trick's going to go to the main roster.
Yep. Trick's going to go. If Ricky Saints, at this point, Ethan's such like the biggest heel you have in NXT, you really can't.
I wouldn't want. I don't think they need to send Paige up just yet. It's like,
so.
Because Ricky's going to slide into Trick's place as the other big top face in NXT, besides Obafemi at the top. Battleground's shaping up to be a heck of a show, man. I mean, Oba versus Miles is probably going to be really, really entertaining because like I think the fans are definitely, even though they love Oba, they're definitely going to be rooting for Miles as the plucky underdog who doesn't. And Stephanie versus Jordan is going to be a fucking banger, guaranteed. Joe versus Trick, that's going to be great. Stacks versus Tony D, look, that's going to be. And if they're throwing in Ricky versus Ethan, that's another really good match. So I'm liking how Battleground is shaping up to be a really good show on paper. I thought there was a solid show building up some stuff. What they did. I liked what they did with Tatum Paxton because it made sense that she would go cuckoo again with Shotzi and Gigi gone, because they kind of like helped rein her in and like stabilize her. And now that they're gone, she's gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs again. So I'm glad they're giving her something because I like Tatum Paxley. I'm glad that they're using that as a storyline beat. It makes sense because I like that they're acknowledging that they're gone and not just like pretending that they weren't even there. You know, it's like kind of thing.
NXT does decently at explaining why people are gone. Because remember, No Quarter like killed the guy, put him in the trunk.
It's like they had Tony D'Angelo dispose of Damon Kemp when Damon Kemp got released. It's like they had it where like they alluded that basically Tony D made him disappear.
Right. Yeah. So that was good there.
Remember the other guy? They got rid of him out of the family. They said he's sleeping with the fishes now.
Yeah, he's sleeping with the fishes. Remember that.
I'll turn it over to you. What did you like about this show here?
I mean, Miles's promo was really solid.
I was really impressed. That was
I really liked it.
The fans really got behind him.
I am never worried about an NXT crowd. I will tell you that much. So it's like fans really got behind him. Like, it's NXT. We're going to get behind it. But it was great promo. You can tell that he's been waiting to cut this promo for a while. This is the most mic time he's ever had.
he sold himself as a guy that is meant to be there in that spot, and not just another NXT like Eddie Thorpe type situation.
He's not. I'm not a fluke. I earned this.
Yeah. It's like I said. It's not he's not like an Eddie Thorpe thing where we just didn't
I'm glad
buy
that they're
it.
doing this because they did this with Stefan and now they're doing it with Miles. They're slowly building up some of the talent in the men's division that and they need to do that. So
I'm liking what they're doing with Stacks. I
also like the subtle, like that Charlie's not happy with Miles hogging the spotlight here.
Nope.
I loved how like he was like, yeah, you should face Ethan, while like Tavion and Rensica are like, no, don't do that. What are you doing?
Yeah. I'm slowly getting there with Hank and Tank. Joe Hendry helped a lot last week.
Yes.
But Josh Briggs and Hank and Tank make a whole lot of sense.
Yep.
And obviously the Joe Hendry Trick Williams segment was my favorite segment of the.
That was some great stuff from Trick and Joe. Like, man, it's like people think that Joe likes to be like a little like happy-go-lucky, but when Joe gets serious, he can get serious.
Yeah,
because he had some burn lines for Trick, especially that you're gonna know what it feels like to have your 50 minutes of fame disappear. I'm like, oh damn, Joe.
And you can't tell me Joe isn't one of the hardest working dudes in the business right now, because he's doing this, he's doing TNA, and he just did another Chris Van Fleet that dropped this morning.
Yeah, talking about everything that's been happening the last couple months with Mania and everything.
Yeah, because he knows, and Matt Cardona. I was listening to Matt Cardona's interview, and he's like, Joe is kind of in that same Matt Cardona, Chelsea Green of, if they give you a minute, you're going to make it golden. Yep. Any time is valued time, and you don't know when that time's going to run out. And Joe takes every advantage of every second he gets that he can to boost his name. And Matt Cardona does that on the indies. And Chelsea Green has been doing that since she got re-signed.
Also, it's like TNA and JoJo Hendry while you last, because he's going to be in WWE in the future. It's it's very obvious how much how high they are on Joe. Also, Joe said that after his match with Randy, Triple H told him that this was the first of many manias for him.
Right.
So that tells you exactly what Triple H thinks of Joe Hendry. That it's like you're gonna be coming over here in the future.
Yeah,
it's we got you.
Yeah, and the thing is like Joe, for somehow or another, when Joe says he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it, and he's gonna keep talking about it until it happens. AKA the John Cena stuff. Oh, and I'm going to win the TNA championship.
If he goes to WWE, he will eventually have a main event WrestleMania match. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, I know he's 30.
TNA's going to have a hard time keeping him.
They're not going to keep him.
I don't think they will, but it's like it's like good luck, because WWE, it's very obvious that how much what WWE thinks of Joe Hendry. It's like they're going to want him back. I've been enjoying this feud with Trick. It's really helped the Trick heel turn going against someone as beloved as Joe Hendry.
Yeah. Stephanie Jordan, Fatal Influence. It's kind of it was going through the motions. It was good.
It was just an excuse to have a main event tag match. It felt like. Yeah. I wasn't worried about them being friction. It's like it's very obvious that there's tension between Jordan and Stephanie, but there's respect. Like, I respect you, but I'm going to beat you.
Yeah.
It's like,
I did like that. I'm not your investment.
That was a great line for Stephanie. I am not your investment.
Yeah.
But I like how Jordan was like, okay, that she put up her hands like, okay, that's
good
fair.
point. That's fair. Fair point. The LFG stuff, just because it's like,
that was very shoehorned in.
That just, I don't know. It was like a winner of this gets an NXT contract. I'm like, aren't you all signed to the same developmental contract?
Yes, they are. It's like they're signed to the wrestlers on LFG are like, they're like on like Evolve ID level where they have they have contracts, but not full NXT contracts. So that that they're guaranteed to be that they're going to get eventually get on TV and stuff. But some of the other people who have not made it to the finals of LG have showed up on the show already. Like one of the members of Dark State was one of the guys that got eliminated early on in the when they started doing the eliminations.
Yeah, because they need him on NXT. That's why they eliminated him so quickly.
Well, obviously they saw something in him and like, okay, yeah, no, we can use you. It's like so he's turned out all right, even though he didn't.
I do. Speaking about LFG, I haven't watched a whole lot, but I did like the dude with. I think he just got eliminated.
BJ, that guy was an asshole.
Yeah, but I love that he worked. He does it so well. Like when he cut that one promo, being like, "My dad sometimes doesn't make $500,000 a year," and AJ was like, "That was perfect, dude. I love that." When he cut that, do you remember that? When BJ
when AJ was,
he was like, "Oh, that was so good," of just being that cocky, pretentious asshole.
Yeah, those two of the ladies that they showed, because those are the final two women on LFG. I'm going to give it to, I think, even though Tyra May Steele is an Olympic gold medalist, I give the edge to Sterling Zena. She has really impressed over time. Like she's like on Bubba Ray's group. It's like he's been singing her praises. Let me put it this way. She told Bubba that during her downtime she watches old matches to learn stuff, and he goes, that's the dedication you want.
Is Zena the one that Gunther was just like? Is he that blonde-haired girl that Gunther was like, no one cares what you just said? That whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's her. All
she's really come a long way. She's definitely got the serious potential.
Okay.
And like the men, that's gonna be hard because the two guys that are left are both really fucking good. So it'll be interesting to see which ones are gonna get like the other ones. I think some of the other people like the guys in Dark State. I think some of the other ones are gonna turn out fine.
Okay. It's just I can't.
It was definitely shoehorned in because they want people to tune in.
It's just hard for me to watch that show because it just feels so scripted.
You could tell it's definitely there's a lot. Of
it takes it.
Especially with the BJ stuff. It's like I don't know if you saw the episode where he purposely was fucking up a match trying to hog the spotlight, and the Dark State guy shoved him down and walked out of the match.
Yeah,
if that had been real, those guys would have been gone.
Right. No. And then plus BJ was the one that cut that, and Bubba Ray just cut him down that one time.
Yeah. If that was that legit, they would have kicked both those guys out.
Yeah. It's wrestling, guys. Guess what? It's a show. They know what they're doing on that. What? All right, I'm indifferent. So does that hurt Thea and help Tatum, or is it fine? Is it a wash?
I think it's a wash. It's obvious that they're high in Thea right now. She's being featured.
Yes, she is being booked like they want.
And plus, there is the fact that Jada is still talking smack about her means that that's a feud that's good about to happen. Especially after she tried to help Carmen last week. I think that was just more to show that Tatum has snapped because Gigi and Shotzi are gone, and so I'm not worried. She's being featured. That's they're very high on her. That's a good thing. And I love Andre Chase's F-bomb that time was appropriate. Guys, what the fuck?
Right.
Well, sorry guys, you're gonna lose to OTM next week.
I'm liking the mid card that they're doing with the women. I am. I'm not mad about it. With the Zarya, Soroka, and then Jada Parker. Jada Parker is involved with it, which I think she's more of main event at this point. But
Jada is more main event, but it's she's already been in 2 top title matches, right. So they've taken her down a bit and have her.
She's doing the McIntyre thing right now.
She's her and Thea. That's going to help Thea out because
because that's basically when they went back and was Thea got with these. They're oh, we get Jada and Thea. Okay, all right, yeah.
I'm all for a Jada Thea feud. That would be dope. But yeah, I like what they're doing with Soroka and Zarya. They're teasing the eventual breakup, especially with her. Yeah, sure, you can have it's can have your reaction. It's what?
Yeah, and you're slowly getting the audience used to Zarya. Yeah, because you can tell of obviously she was brought in the same time as Stephanie Julia. And so
not long. She came in not long after
right.
Stephanie,
and she's a little bit obviously she's a lot more greener than those two.
Yep.
So they're pairing her up with Sol Roca, being like the odd couple.
It's helped build out character. It's helped build character.
That's what they're doing, and it's slowly getting it there. So I get what they're doing. I'm enjoying it. I am just worried about Kalani's future.
Yeah, but she's definitely she's really improved in the ring. So it's like we'll see. I think she's just got to work on her pro work a little bit. Like her in-ring work has really gotten good. It's like she needs to. It's like sometimes she feels like a little like I'm reading my memorized lines a bit sometimes.
Yeah, that's Soul does that a couple of times too.
It's like compared to like how Soul Rook and Zarya talk, they feel more natural.
Yeah, and Jada's Jada.
It's like Jada's so good as she's got the she's got
that swagger, man.
She's got the
swagger, her personality.
That's why she's really over with the NXT crowd. Like the Miss Parker chant every time she comes out. That's like they like Jada a lot. So
yeah, I like the whole Javon Evans stuff. I don't like the lack of screen time that Ricky Saints is getting.
It'll be fine.
I know. I'm just throwing bias out there. I'm not. This is me nitpicking on the show. But
what I'm wondering is with this match between Stephanie and Jordan is very interesting because if they really want to move Stephanie up now, they put the title on Jordan and move her up too. If they really want to move her up already. But I can see Sean be like, no, Triple H. It's like it's like you're already taking Roxanne and Julia away from me. It looks like it's like let me have Stephanie and Jordan for a little while. Can you please?
But Stephanie's
just so.
You gotta call a spade, dude.
Right?
Who is right. How many female wrestlers are more over?
She's Stephanie? Really over, and she's already really over with the main roster crowd.
That's what I'm saying. Of the whole WWE women's roster, who is more over than Stephanie? And I don't really know who that would be. Rhea, Io,
Rhea, and I'd say maybe Alexa.
Yeah,
Tiffany's still popular, but she's kind of cooled off because of the way they booked her. But that could be easily fixed. But like
Liv,
Liv is like got like the heat.
That's what I'm saying. Like she's over with her character.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Bianca.
Yeah, because it's like.
Did you see her knuckle?
What?
Bianca sent a picture. Like her knuckle is like that.
Ooh,
it's so swollen.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I did not see that.
You don't have to look it up. It's bad.
It's gonna be it's gonna be tough because Stephanie is so good and so over. It's like I that's what I'm saying. I will not be surprised if Jordan actually wins this match. If Jordan beats her, that means Stephanie's getting following Roxanne and Julia to the main roster.
Because Stephanie is exactly what SmackDown needs.
Yep.
I mean, people are like, where's she going to go? I'm like, SmackDown.
Oh yeah, I would. It's very obvious. I mean, the fact that Julia and Roxanne have spent so much time in Raw, I think that's where they're going. So to not make Raw too overloaded, put Stephanie on SmackDown because really. Yeah.
You would think, but we said put Fraxim on Raw because their tag team division is terrible.
But they put him on SmackDown.
And they put him on SmackDown. But the thing is that's where they would work the best because those teams work the best with Fraxim.
It's like Stephanie would like be perfect on SmackDown, really, because she would fit right in, and you definitely want to eventually do Stephanie versus Charlotte, right, for obvious reasons.
It's just the thing is like typically when people are in NXT is like, okay, we need to polish them. We need to, smooth some edges. And it's just like, what do you need to polish with her?
Right.
You don't.
She's the only thing she needs to polish is continue to polish is her English. Everything else is like, and she's like her English has gotten. She
speaks just as good English as Io.
Yeah.
So what's the point? What are we doing here?
Yeah, that's why I think that's why like Julia, they're like they feel like Julia's English has gotten really good, so she's that in between her previous experience in Japan, she's more than ready for the main roster.
Yeah.
like the only reasons why Julia and Stephanie chose NXT was because they wanted to work on their English first, among other things, and also understand the WWE way. And at this point, it's like they're both of them are more than ready, along with Roxanne, to be on the main roster. And so is Jordan, but I think Jordan's going to stay in NXT longer to help anchor the division for a bit before she gets called up.
Do you think Julia aligns herself with Kyrie and Asuka against Io?
Wouldn't be surprised, because it would make sense. I mean, if you want to turn it on its head, where like Io thinks that they're back on her side, and then they turn on her.
Who knows? But anyway, that's for the future. But yeah, it's going to be very hard. Also, next week, you saw where Joe Hendry and Trick's going to rap, and Joe Hendry's going to sing.
Yeah, they're going to have it. They're going to have a music competition.
Yeah, which is exactly what for people bring out your memory banks. They've done this before with The Rock and John Cena.
Oh God,
remember that?
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Yep. So there you go, guys. They've done it before. And The Rock was the singer, and John Cena was the rapper.
So yeah, who wins between Stephanie and Jordan is going to be very telling about if Stephanie's going to be staying in NXT longer, or she's about ready to get called up, depending on if she wins or loses.
Jordan still, as much as you can put her anywhere, Jordan definitely. There's a couple of things you need to sand a little bit, I think.
Yeah, and I think it sounds like from what she's saying, she's perfectly happy to be in NXT to start with right now. So
I mean, she basically was Mrs. TNA.
She's like the big name that can help lead the division if Stephanie's also leaving with Roxanne and Julia. It'd be good to have her be the anchor as a top champ, and then you can start bringing up some of the other people like Soul and Little Vice and everybody else up to that level. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's all I've got. Yeah. Anything else before we wrap up here, sir?
Nope. Solid episode of NXT.
Yep. Solid week of wrestling. Yeah. I like I said,
I'm looking forward to Battleground a lot. I'm liking how the card shapes.
So as far as the pay-per-views, we've got so many. It feels like we got like 7.
We got Battleground and Double or Nothing on the same night at the same time. So
we got Battleground, Double or Nothing
primarily.
Saturday night's main event.
And Saturday's main event the night before.
And then you blink, and Money in the Bank's going to be here. So.
We're going to have that the week of Memorial Day. We're going to have a very loaded show because we got the Saturday's main event, Double or Nothing, and Battleground besides the weekly shows. So it's like we're going to have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff is happening that weekend.
That we will. So,
but I'll be watching Double or Nothing stuff later because honestly, it's like $50 is a lot of money. And as much as like some of the matches, I'm more excited for Battleground than I am for Double or Nothing.
What? I didn't know. That's a news. Let me write this down. He wants to watch NXT. Got it. Okay. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining. GIF is always a pleasure of you in the comment section. Thoughts and prayers out to the family of Sabu. JR, get healthy.
Please go beat cancer, JR. Please
go beat cancer. Go beat cancer, man. Yep. And if like, subscribe, links down below. Discord is below as well. We're over on our Discord. It is free. There's no charge. You can come over there, talk wrestling, all pop culture stuff, anything else we want to talk about. We hang out there, have fun, shoot the breeze. Like, subscribe, hit the doorbell. As far as stuff that we have going on this channel, as per usual, we are here every Thursday in case something crazy happens, like, family scheduling and all that other stuff. But typically we are here every Thursday, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, to bring you everything in the world of wrestling that is, was, and will be. Wednesdays, we do myself, Soul, and Tushka do Rev Sports Wrap It Up. That wraps up everything in the week that was sports. I don't know why I blanked there. But Justin's Yankees are playing well, much less Aaron Judge. Let's just hope he can carry that and actually do well in the playoffs because let's face it, the Yankees are going to make the playoffs. Also, the pitching, where the lineup is like just like crushing
like scoring runs like there's no tomorrow. It's the pitching that is the issue. So we'll see what happens.
The Reds finally won a game today. I'm so happy. But and then also run again to the player who destroyed his ankle.
Oswaldo Cabrera.
Yeah, do get better. That was scary.
That was nasty.
That was nasty. But yeah, that's what we do it there. We do our book club every first Friday in June.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember the book off the top of my head. My apologies, so don't kill me. But we do that every week. We always have our Discord members join that have read it that also wants to chime in and help us review those books as well. And then fantasy football is just around the corner. They just released the schedules.
Blood over Bright Haven.
Thank you. Blood over Bright Haven. Thank you for that. And then they just released all 32 NFL teams did their schedule release videos. Buffalo Bills, basically Josh Allen goes, yeah, just use AI. And so they used AI, Allen Iverson, to go over who their schedule was.
That was funny.
My favorite is the Chargers. They did a whole Minecraft thing. I thought that was pretty cool. The Chargers kill it every year when they do the schedule release videos.
Buffalo's got an interesting schedule where a lot of weak teams to start the season, and then the second half of the schedule has a really rough patch for them. We're gonna have to play a lot of good teams, so it's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah. You ready? Hey, guess what, guys? Get ready to bitch about the Cowboys again because we're like we're prime time like all the time.
Yeah.
So I know why people hate Dallas. I understand it, and I don't care.
The Cowboys.
Yeah, I have hope again, and it sucks because they give us a package of hope and then they take it away on Christmas.
Yeah,
that's basically what happens every year as a Cowboys fan for 30 years. Wish I was lying on that, but that will do it for us. Mm-hmm. We will see you, Justin. Always a pleasure, sir. Thank you always for coming in, hanging out, shooting the breeze. That is the world of wrestling. It's always a good time, and we will see you all next week to do it again. Mm-hmm. Peace.